awfully good. But Kai Thomas, no longer. Devontae Harden, no longer. Those guys have graduated. So now they have some other players that we'll talk about throughout the night coming in to take their place. And Dewey, there's some good ones. And one of them is just a freshman, a 230-pound quarterback. We'll talk about him here in a few minutes after the kick.
Well, the Topeka High Trojans with Tay Thomas getting set to kick off to the Junction City Blue Jays. We're ready for football. Russell Wilkie, Marcelo Bussey are the deep men for the Blue Jays tonight. There's the kick. They squib it down to the near side, and it rolls out of bounds at the Blue Jay 31. That'll be a penalty flag and move the ball up to the 35. And Brian, excellent field position.
Yeah, so Nate Green smartly just said, okay, I'm going to get away from that and let it go out of bounds. And you're seeing a lot more of that because teams will say, okay, should we kick it to the 20, get it up in the air, do a coverage kick, or maybe try and squib it? What do we do? Let's just go ahead and kick it out of bounds, give it to him at 35.
All right, the Blue Jays come on first with the offensive unit led by senior quarterback Andrew Corey. In the backfield, of course, they'll have DJ Giddens. They'll put a receiver wide left. They'll spread their tight end out wide left on the near side. Blue Jays in a tight formation to start. Three receivers packed in tight on the right side of the line. Snap to Andrew Corey. Turn, flips it back to Giddens. He'll try to sweep around the right end at the 35. Hit, drug out of bounds at the 38. A gain of 3 on first down for Junction City. So the Blue Jays will huddle up quickly. You notice, Brian, they don't huddle a whole lot. They tend to move right up to the line of scrimmage.
They do, and Coach Zimmerman will call the plays from the sideline. So Andrew will look over now. They'll go ahead and get lined up. They'll watch how Topeka High lines up, and then Andrew will look over one more time to see if Coach Zimmerman, he just did it, to see if Coach Zimmerman wants to change the play or go with what they have.
4 receivers out on the play. Second down, 7 for the Blue Jays. Corey in the pocket. Pops one over the middle. He's got it complete to Russell at the 49 across midfield. 45, 43, 42 of Topeka High. And the Blue Jays get the initial first down of the ball game.
So what they do is they take Marcelo Bussey on that play on the left side. They run him deep. He takes a go route. And then you take Christian Tabora and Trey Goggins on the other side, and they run post routes. And so what that does is it clears out the middle of the field, and then they have Russell run a crossing pattern or an out, whichever. It's a choice type situation. The Blue Jays have had a ton of success the last few weeks with that play.
First and 10 from the Trojan 42-yard line for Junction City. Corey sets the offense, 3 right on the far side. Giddens in the backfield. They pop it out to Giddens. Same play we saw the first play of the game. Giddens this time streaking down the sideline. Runs out of bounds on his own at the 30, a 12-yard gain for the Blue Jays, and another first down.
Just a little bubble route, little flare pattern out into the flat. So he takes a couple steps back. He runs a curved route, an under route into the flat. Andrew tries to hit him full speed, and that way he can, when he's got his full head of steam, he can go ahead and try and get outside and get the edge.
First and 10, Blue Jays on the right hash on the far side, now driving into Topeka territory. No score in tonight's ball game. Junction City will stay with the same thing over and over until it's stopped. This time they're going to flip it back, reverse, counter, come in the near side. Russell's around the end at the 30, 25, 20. Grabbed with the shoulder pads and rolled out of bounds at the 22, at the 17 of the Trojans. A 13-yard rush for Russell.
Well, it was a nice run right there, but we have to give some big-time love to Satu Tawala, the left tackle right there. He manhandled that big old defensive end and kept him off so Russell could get outside. Great block by Satu Tawala to bust that play.
First and 10, Blue Jays. They run DJ around the left side, surges toward the 10, the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, DJ Giddens. They touched him, but they never came close to making a tackle.
Yeah, just quick pitch. What they do is they like to go outside right there off the tackle. Well blocked by the Blue Jays again. Satu Tawala on the left side of that line. Chris Owens, Anson Jacobson, also Marcelo Bussey out there to do some nice blocking. And so that was big. Nice touchdown. Blue Jays score early and pretty easily, Dewey.
11-10 remaining in the first quarter. The Blue Jays lead at 6-0. Aiden Field now on to try the extra point for Junction City, west into the football field. There's the snap. It's down. The kick by Aiden is up, and it is perfect. We'll take a break here for 30 seconds and be back right after this.
Buying flooring can be a tough decision, especially when you're just not sure how it's going to look in your home. What if you don't like it? Oops.
That's why it pays to see us at Carpet One Floor and Home in Manhattan and ask about the Carpet One Beautiful Guarantee. If you don't love your new carpet, hardwood, tile, vinyl, or laminate floor, we'll replace it for free, including installation.
Get a floor you're guaranteed to love only at Carpet One Floor and Home of Manhattan at 501 Fort Riley Boulevard. Some restrictions apply.
And we're back at Al Simpler Stadium. The Blue Jays have jumped out to a 7-0 lead on the Topeka High Trojans.
Dewey, that was just to give you an idea how well the Blue Jays executed right there on their initial drive. 6 plays, 50 seconds, 5-0, and 65 yards. That's impressive.
Hayden Field will handle the kickoff from the Blue Jay 40-yard line. Junction City lines up for the first time with the kicking team. Hayden gets the sign from the official, heads toward the football, and boots it down the field, rolling down to about the 20-yard line. Bobbled by the Trojans, but picked back up. They bring it across the 25. Still on the run back. Tylen Alejos takes a clear back across midfield into Blue Jay territory. He's a good runner. He's their best running back, and he takes it down to the Blue Jay 37.
So, interesting thing about their game against Highland Park last week. Highland Park scored on the initial kickoff. The next kickoff, then Highland Park kicked to Topeka High. They scored a touchdown. So both teams scored a touchdown on their initial kick receptions last week. Topeka High, of course, going on to win that game pretty handily.
All right, Trojans set up 1st and 10. 2 receivers wide right on the near side. 1 goes wide left. B.J. Canaday, freshman, 6'5", 230 pounds, is the quarterback. He's a good one. Lines up in a shotgun set. There's a snap. He hands off the running back in the backfield. And not much room, maybe 2 yards at most by the running back, Tylen Alejos. We're going to have to practice that name a little bit tonight. He picked up 2. It'll be 2nd down 8.
Nice play by Keenan McConnell, the Sam linebacker. He's done a nice job for the Blue Jays at that position this year. Just a junior, Dewey.
Blue Jays had pretty good inside penetration that time.
They did, and I'll tell you what, Topeka High runs that 3-3-5 stack. Blue Jays, of course, with their patented 3-4, and that's pretty much what they've run for the last, 12, 13 years here.
2nd down 8, Trojans, left hash on the far side. They snap it to Canaday. Running play, and Alejos going to be wrapped up. They really have 5 guys around him. He got nothing. In fact, he lost about a yard. It'll be 3rd down 9.
Yeah, McConnell was in there that time. Looking to see Nate Harge was in there that time. And so Nate Harge, Dewey, is playing tonight. Is he starting? It looks like possibly at that will linebacker position. We'll have to see.
Well, the play coming on from the sideline from Carlos Kelly, the Topeka High coach. Blue Jays looking for their 5th win of the season. They're 4-1 coming into play. The Trojans 1-1. They didn't play early because of COVID-19 concerns, just now getting their season going. Snap to Canaday, and we get a whistle and a flag before the play can unfold. He hasn't moved real fast when he backs up in the pocket, Brian. I've noticed that about him.
Yeah, but he's just a freshman, and he's a big kid, Dewey, and we'll talk a little bit about this offense real quick. They run this power spread that they've run for the last several years here, the same offense they're going to run that they ran with Walt Alexander. So these kids are familiar with that offense, but Dewey, a little more speed-oriented than the power type game that they had when they had Devontae Harden and the running back that they've had the last few years. It was so good, the Division I running back, Kai Thomas.
I'm glad those guys are in college. 3rd down 14 for the Trojans. Trips right on the near side. Snap to the quarterback, 3-step drop, dumps it over in the left slot, and it's caught, but no, incomplete. Official runs up, says no, it did not get caught that time. The intended wide receiver for the Trojans, Elijah Kincaid, a 6-foot sophomore. 4th down, and Topeka High is looking at a punting situation.
Yeah, they still run that power spread, a little more speed-oriented. They'll run that zone read, the counter tray a lot, speed option, quarterback counter, which has hurt the Blue Jays in the past, especially that counter tray, some trap, and some jet sweeps. We'll talk more about their formations in their passing game the next time they're on offense.
Blue Jays put Russell Wilkie back deep to receive the punt from Topeka High. They'll be kicking from their 45-yard line. High snap, he jumps back to get it. And we got flags down before the play got going again. One at the line of scrimmage here on the near side. Offsides on the Blue Jay defense. It'll cost them 5 yards. It will stay 4th down, 4th and 9. So we'll try this again. Looks like Jalen Smith, 6'2 senior, is the punter. From midfield at the 50, the Blue Jays back Russell Wilkie up to the Junction City 8-yard line. 7-0, Blue Jays on top. There's a snap. Oh, he tried to get away. He was slow. Now he's trying to run. He lobs it downfield. Incomplete. He had the presence of mind to at least throw it where he wasn't going to get intercepted. And Junction City takes over. on the Blue Jay 37. That was a very slow developing play for their punt.
Well, the snap, for one thing, was very, very high, and I don't think that was necessarily supposed to be a fake, but the way that he stopped and didn't try to punt the ball and then rolled out, it didn't look like there were any receivers except that one guy going across the middle. So I think you're right, dude. It was just the pressure of the Blue Jays right there, and he chose to go ahead and do that.
I think the punter caught the snap, says, oh, no.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Blue Jays had good penetration. So this 3-3-5 and this 4-2-5 that Topeka runs, they're led by middle linebacker Diego Carr. He's a senior, 5'9", 215. And also we talked about Talon Alejos, 5'9", 180. He's a very aggressive, strong safety for Topeka High.
9:29 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Blue Jays, their second possession. Andrew takes the snap, rolls to the right, throws up the sideline. Underthrows Marcelo Bussey at the Blue Jay 46. It'll be 2nd down 10.
Yeah, no late hit there, but it looked like Andrew was hit and kind of forced out of bounds there after he got rid of the football. A little close there. Here comes Nate Green, the tight end, into the ball game. Nate Green had a really nice catch over the middle. 2 consecutive plays. The second one was for a touchdown. He ran a kind of a little post route, a little skinny post, and both of them completed by Andrew, and that was Nate's first touchdown of the season.
2nd down 10 for the Blue Jays. Twins left on the near side. One receiver far wide right. They snap it high. Andrew grabs it, gives to DJ, whirls around the right end at the 45-50, got the first down, and they roll him out of bounds at the Junction City 47. That's an 11-yard rush for DJ.
Very nice block by Nate Green that time. DJ got in behind him, read the block well, got several yards for the first down on the run. I know I talk about this a lot, love the way the DJ Giddens runs the football. Every carry, more confidence, and just more experience.
High snap, Andrew dumps it out in the left flat to Russell. He caught it, crossed the 50, and they grab his right leg. He's still bowling forward, and they push him out of bounds, but they pushed him ahead a couple of yards on the tackle. He's at the 45 of the Trojans. It'll be 2nd down 2 for Junction City.
Blue Jays going NASCAR, going fast here. And, that's what I love about senior experience. Russell right there gets the extra few yards because he just keeps those legs moving. Giddens keeps the legs moving. Andrew rolls out nicely, very composed, reads the defenses very, very well. You heard Coach Zimmerman in postgame. More of a read type is how they decide how they're going to pass the football. It's not really a certain receiver, but they have a read. They read it, and then they have choice routes, and that's how Andrew makes the decisions. He does a great job of it.
There's a snap, running play right up the middle, wide open DJ, roaring down at the 30. Tries to cut back to the inside of the field and gets it down to the 27-yard line. Boy, he had a wide open hole to run through.
That was very well blocked again. Satu Tawal and Chris Owens over there. And I looked to see if they pulled the guard. Did they pull Logan Davis that time? Because sometimes they'll do, and that's just through the C gap or the old 7-hole right there. A lot of times the Blue Jays will run that play, and they've had a lot of success with it this year, especially for Giddens, and they've scored a lot of touchdowns on that play.
All right, 1st and 10, Junction City. In Topeka High territory. They'll put 3 receivers wide right. Marcelo comes wide to the near side. DJ in the backfield with Andrew Corey. Snap from Manson. They dump it out in the right flat. Pass is caught by Russell, looking to run in space. Dodges one tackler, dodges 2, but they grab him by the jersey and wheel him down at the 24. Blue Jays pick up some yardage, but still 2nd down coming up.
What I really like, and you see this as the season goes along, I love the downfield blocking by the wide receivers because it is so key a lot of times to help break a play. Christian DeBoer right there did a great job blocking on that play.
2nd down for the Blue Jays. Andrew from the shotgun set. Floats the pass out in left flat. Dropped by DJ, and he got back on the football, and I think they're going to say that was a lateral because he kind of threw the pass backwards.
Yep.
And Junction City had to recover it back at the 31-yard line.
That bubble, so if they run it to the boundary side, it's usually not behind him as much, but when they run it to the wide side, you want him to get a little deeper, and so a lot of times Andrew is throwing that ball behind him, and you're right, Dewey, that was a backwards pass, so it was considered a fumble.
3rd down 12 for the Blue Jays after a 7-yard loss. Junction City at the 31-yard line of Topeka High. Blue Jays lead 7-0. Andrew takes the snap, wants to throw again, wants to throw, looking, dumps it up the middle, pass caught, knocked loose. Boy, I thought it was caught down there by Tabor at the 10. He took a big-time hit.
Well, good defense that time by Talon Alejos. We talked about it. He's a running back, strong safety, came in and hit him just as he caught the ball, timed it perfectly.
Well, the Blue Jays facing 4th down. The way they pass the ball around, Brian, I think I'd go for it.
Yeah, they will, and they've been able to move the ball pretty well. A couple of different things, though. Noticing this 3-3-5. So we have seen mostly the 3-3-5. They've run a little 4-2-5 Topeka High, but they've got some very experienced guys on defense.
Blue Jays take a long time sending in the next play from Coach Zimmerman.
Trey Thomas, one of their leading linebackers, 6'3", 230. He's a senior.
Snap to Andrew, rolls right, being chased, got some heavy pressure on him, hit as he throws, and incomplete pass down at about the 10-yard line. He was trying to heave it to anyone he could find open, and Topeka High will take over on downs. 1st and 10 at their 31. We'll break here for 30 seconds.
Now that there are new digital ways to pay, what can you do with that old overstuffed wallet?
I could use it as a doorstop, a paperweight, a dumbbell, an umbrella, a small chair.
If you've been walking around with an overstuffed wallet in your pocket or purse, it's Central time. Get Central National Bank's new digital wallet, a wallet in your smartphone, tablet, or smartwatch. A safer, more convenient way to pay.
Central National Bank, money for life.
Member FDIC in your hometown since 1884.
And here we go. 1st down, Topeka High at their 31-yard line. Blue Jays lead 7-0. There's a snap to Canada. He's going to hand off to the running back, and not much room. In fact, a 1-yard loss for Topeka High. They couldn't get anything going outside or inside up the middle. Topeka High stopped on the play. The running back carrying the football that time, Tylen Alejos.
Yeah, Keegan McConnell, man, I'll tell you what, he has done such a nice job at that linebacker position for the Blue Jays. He got in there and made a really nice play, stopping that play for short yardage.
Here we go, 2nd down 11. Long time for the play call. Carlos Kelly sends it in for the Topeka High Trojans from the pistol set. Canada snaps his hands. Now he's going to throw long on the left side, and nearly had it intercepted down at the Blue Jay 35. Junction City had very good pass coverage down there.
Number 3, BJ Kennedy's.
Looks like Ontarius Hill was on the coverage on that one. Also, it was nice to see. So, Keon Thomas getting the start tonight, or Keon, excuse me. Talking about is that Keon Taylor getting the start tonight at corner, and Ontarius Hill back in there on that play. But the Blue Jays have a very experienced and very good defense. Their secondary is very, very solid. Teams have not been able to pass the ball very well on them. Ironically, how many times have you seen this in the past, Dewey? Not that I can ever remember. The Blue Jays' opponents have outrushed them this year.
Well, Junction City passes so much, that's the reason. There's another whistle before we can get the next play off. And we'll get a timeout taken by the Topeka High Trojans. Well, the Blue Jay defense will come over to the side and talk with the Junction City coaches. So far, the defense has played pretty well for Junction City.
They have. In fact, they've gotten some good penetration up front. The linebackers doing a really good job reading these plays. This is not an offense that the Blue Jays are not used to seeing. You know, a lot of times they see these power spreads or the speed spread. This is kind of a combination. They're running a little more of the speed type spread tonight in this season, but Topeka High is, but we talk about this, you know, they've got BJ Canadace, their quarterback, number 3, 6'5", 230, Dewey, just a freshman. Yes, he's just a freshman, but he's got a good accurate arm. They're not running him a lot, so you don't see that quarterback counter or a lot of the zone reads that you used to see with Devontae Harden the last couple of years, but very capable quarterback, just a freshman. Of course, we talked about Diego Carr. He's one of the running backs. He's their bigger power back. He's 5'9", 215. You'll see him run the trap. He'll also run some of those leads and those counter trays. On those counter trays, they'll pull 2 linemen. They'll pull a guard and a tackle from the backside, and they'll go ahead and pull over, and they'll do a really nice job running that play, and that's hurt the Blue Jays in the past. But so far, the Blue Jays defense is doing a really good job snuffing that out tonight.
All right, Junction City looking at a 3rd down 11 for the Topeka High Trojans. Backed up at their 30-yard line. Blue Jays lead tonight's ball game 7-0. Snap to Canada, the freshman quarterback. Rolls left, hit and knocked down hard in the backfield. Ball squirts loose, but he was already down at the 23-yard line, a loss of 7. He kind of lumbers when he runs. He's not real fast.
Yeah, I think that was Nate Harge. It was the linebacker, so the Blue Jays must have did a run blitz that time, but he did a great job getting in there and hitting Kennedy in the backfield and stopping that play. But Dewey, a couple more names I want to mention. Trey Thomas, he's a slot receiver, 6'2", 230, also a very good blocker on the counter, and Elijah Kincaid, just a sophomore. But these are some guys who we've heard their names the last few years for Topeka High, good football players.
Here we go, 4th down. Trojans 4th and long. Would have to go to the 41 for a 1st and 10. There's a snap. Blue Jays rush, and they disrupt the punt again. The punter's going to run to the side of the field and boot it down the way to the 50, to the Blue Jay 42, rolls inside the 40 to the 30, picked up by Russell on the roll. He's going to run it back. He's chased to the far side across the 40 of Junction City. and they run him out of bounds at the Blue Jay 45. So he gets 15 on the return, but the punter had to run for his life. They were going to block that.
They were. Blue Jays got good penetration again. So right there, you saw Russell. That was smart because we saw Russell muff one a couple of weeks ago, and that's very uncharacteristic of him. Though he is a shortstop and good at handling the ball in front of him like that, very risky on a short hop. Right there, he saw it start to bounce. He was going to let it go and see if it was going to stop. The coaches told him to go ahead and grab it, and he did, and he had time. He had his back to it, and so that's why they said go ahead and pick it up. So he grabbed it, turned and looked, and the Blue Jays started blocking, and he was able to get to the other side of the field. Did get a few yards on that return.
1st and 10, Junction City at their 45-yard line. Blue Jays put 2 receivers wide right, 2 left on the near side. They keep DJ Giddens with the quarterback in the backfield. They're going to sweep it left. DJ the blocker. Russell running, finds the seam at the 50. Down the sideline, 45, and they run him out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 rush for 15 yards for Russell Wilkie.
Jet sweep. Did you see the block by DJ Giddens,
Yes.
the fullback? You heard the crowd react. Oh, he just planted that kid. He does it when he's blocking. He does it when he's running the football. He is just so strong. Great block that time by DJ Giddens, the fullback.
They move the chains. Blue Jays passing quick on the near side left flat to Marcelo Bussey. His first catch, and he falls forward to the 31. Blue Jays pick up a nice gain of about 9 yards on 1st down.
A lot of double teams on Marcelo. You're starting to see this because he was such a huge part of the Blue Jay offense early in the season, but they're kind of doubling up on him, leaving some other guys open, and that's working out pretty well.
They pass back to Marcelo again at the 28. Breaks 1 tackle. Now they're going to gang tackle him at the 26. Gain of 5 for a 1st down. You know, Brian, no problem for Marcelo. He's just going to run away.
Well, he's just so we talked about this, how he's grown. You know, last year he saw some time on varsity. We talked about him replacing Q and some big shoes to fill. Not for him. He was not intimidated. Marcelo has become such a good route runner, great hands, and he runs the ball very well after the catch.
Blue Jays rushing DJ left side. They hit him up high, but he still lunges forward inside the 25, down to the 21-yard line, gain of 5.
Nice play, though, by Grant Evanson. He's a junior, 6'3", 255 defensive lineman. He put a pretty good lick there to stop DJ. You don't see that very often, but hit him and was able to bring him down. Nice tackle.
2nd down 5 for the Blue Jays. Left hash on the near side, leading 7-0. Andrew takes a high snap. This time floats it down toward the end zone. Marcelo just couldn't quite get there. Touched the ball at the 2, but it came off his fingertips, and the Blue Jays have 3rd down.
Well, he got tangled up with the corner right there. That was on one. It looked like man coverage right there, and so I think that the corner saw that maybe he was going to get by him, and so he kind of held him just a little bit and let go as Andrew threw the ball. And so Marcelo was trying to recover and wasn't able to hang on to the football.
So we have a 3rd down situation for the Blue Jays. Football resting just shy of the 21-yard line of the Topeka High Trojans. 3rd down 5. Everybody out for a pass, as they are in most plays at Junction City this season. The snap to Andrew. They're going to rush. DJ slaps through 1 tackle, rolls ahead, gets it inside the 15. He's got a 1st down rush. He goes for 7. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
So if this is on
Penalty flag is
Marcelo,
down, too.
if this is on Marcelo, I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to tell you why. You saw him retaliate. He was being held, and the player, Jalen Smith, the senior, he's a defensive back, was holding on to him and would not let go. And you saw Marcelo push him away, and so I hope that Marcelo doesn't get called for this. It should probably go both ways, but he was definitely being held during the play. That's the 2nd time that's happened. He knows he's going to get beat, so he's holding him.
Officials are still talking down about the 25. Here they go. Unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams.
That's a good call. I'll take that.
They're going to do the play over. It'll still be 3rd down for Junction City.
Good call. I'm glad the officials got together because Marcelo probably should not have pushed him after it happened, but you could see him kind of going at it. You know, nothing against Topeka High, but they've got kind of that reputation of being a little chippy and doing a lot of talking on the field, and they try, and that's just an intimidation tactic. That's what they do. They've done it for a long time, and so it's nothing overly malicious. It's just their style of football. They're very hardcore, and that's what they do. They'll try to get in your head. We saw him do it. If you remember a few years ago, Zach Terry, our tackle, a couple times they got good offensive tackle for the Blue Jays playing in college right now, but they got into his head a couple times.
After the penalty, they have moved the football to the 14 of the Trojans. 1st down, Junction City. Blue Jays waiting on the snap to Andrew Corey. Handed off to DJ Giddens, angling out toward the left, and they're going to stop him at the 10. Gain of 4 that time on first down.
Yeah, so the defense is starting to read this, and we talked about the Blue Jays and their 3-4 that they run. They used to run a 4-3. They switched, 12 years ago or so. They kind of went strictly to the 3-4, but Topeka High sometimes will get into 3-4, and it looks like that's what they were in right there. It wasn't the 3-3 stack necessarily, but the 3-4, and I'm wondering if they're going to go with a few more linebackers, maybe go to that 3-4 now to try and stop this Blue Jay running attack.
All right, second down for the Blue Jays. The left hash on the near side of the field. Andrew standing, looking at coach, now backs up, prepares to take the snap. Hanson Jacobson working center tonight. They put Russell in motion to the near side. Andrew rolls that way, throws to Russell in the end zone. Touchdown for the Junction City Blue Jays. 11 yards on the touchdown pass, and the Blue Jays make it 13-0. 3:45 to go here in the first quarter.
Looked like a shallow corner route right there by Russell. He did a good job running it to the pylon. Andrew rolled to his left, and that's such a tough pass sometimes, but he rolled to his left and made the touchdown pass.
Extra point try coming up for Aiden Field. We're still in the first quarter of play here tonight at Al Simpler Stadium. There's the snap. Kicks on the way. And no good. Wide right, it looked like, for Junction City. We'll keep it here. 13-0, though. Still, Brian, a really good start for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, no, it is. You see the Blue Jays up 13-0, and so Andrew doing a nice job throwing the football. Blue Jays running some good routes. That offensive line giving Andrew time, doing a really good job run blocking, and so nice job. And one of the things that I really like to see about this Blue Jay team, Coach Zimmerman talks about, this is a really good group of kids, really good chemistry on this football team, and that really says a lot and goes a long way towards the success of your football team.
Well, the Junction City Blue Jays getting set to kick off to the Topeka High Trojans. Blue Jays have had 3 possessions here in the first quarter, scoring touchdowns on 2. That's pretty good. You'll take that average.
Yeah, you will. And so, and Topeka High's defense, they're starting to catch up a little bit and see what the Blue Jays do. But the Blue Jays have just been able to keep them off guard. This offense has gotten so balanced. We talk about the way that they're loading up on Marcelo Bussey, but to have Russell Wilkie is another weapon. To have, obviously, DJ. And let's not forget, Andrew can run the football, too. When we think of running dual-threat quarterbacks here, we talk about Ty Zimmerman, and who was probably the best dual-threat quarterback. Andrew probably the best passing quarterback, maybe. You talked about Ty. Ty was very good, too, but statistically right now, anyway, Andrew is. And so, but Andrew can run the football, too, and a lot of times people forget that.
Aiden Field getting set to kick off from the Blue Jay 40-yard line. Squibs it down the field inside the 30. Touched, picked up by Topeka High at their 24-yard line. And they get it back across the 25 to the 27. On the return that time, the Trojans only get 3 yards, and not good field position for them, really.
Well, that's their plan tonight, so that's what the Blue Jays are going to do. They're going to try and do that squib. You can see those up guys. A lot of times, if that ball bounces just right, and you're seeing those Blue Jay kickers work on this, Aiden's getting pretty good at that. He can kick it deep. We saw him get a touchback the other day, but one of the things that that Coach Zimmerman wants him to do is kick those squibs and let it bounce around a little bit, and right there you saw them have a hard time picking it up, and so it gives the Blue Jay defense some time to get down there.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Topeka High Trojans, trailing the Blue Jays 13-0. There's a running play up the gut, and they're going to get it up across the 30 to the 31. Rushing the football that time for the Trojans, Tylen Lejos. And it will be 2nd down 7 coming up.
Yeah, leading tackler and Mike linebacker for the Blue Jays, Siddiqui Smith, the senior, in there on the tackle, doing a nice job right there. The Blue Jay defense is doing a good job reading this, and we talk about this. So, the zone read, we talk about. Now, the counter tray is something that Topeka High runs probably as good as any football team in the state. But, a lot of these plays that Topeka High runs, we've seen these several times this year already by Washburn Rural and Bishop Carroll.
2nd down, they run it again off left side. They get nothing. Ball stopped at the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd down 7.
Seaman runs some of this. The Blue Jays run a lot of this. And so the Blue Jays see this in practice, too. Some similarities. But what Topeka High does, it's a little bit different. They'll line up in doubles and some trips and some tray formations, but they'll also do some tight end power spread type combos, too, where they'll get a tight end there and do some blocking, and they'll pull their line. And so a little more of a power spread than what the Blue Jays use, but Topeka High does it well.
Kennedy marks the count. The quarterback takes a 3-step drop, dumps it over the middle, and the pass is tipped. Ends up incomplete, bouncing off the intended receiver, but getting a hand on the football that time, Siddiqui Smith.
Yeah, Siddiqui did a great job from his middle linebacker position, reading that right there into pass coverage, and it was thrown over the middle. They tried to hit what looked like a little bit of a post route right there, and Siddiqui did a good job reading it.
I intercepted a pass once.
Did you?
8th grade flag football. I was a lineman. Man, I caught it. I was so good. Had a 3-yard run back. Blue Jays get set to receive the punt.
Another story for your book, Dewey.
Yep.
You know, I'm telling you.
On the Burr Oak Stadium field.
There you go. Were the lights shining on the field like
No,
you
it's a
talked about
day
the car
game.
lights?
We played
okay.
day games in junior high.
Okay.
Anyway, everybody honked their horn, all 4 cars that were there.
Yeah, I love the
That's
story.
where you pull the horn, cars up the side of the field, and when you score, everybody honks the horn.
They had a couple of games where they shined the headlights onto the field, so it was just, Dewey, you have to write a book.
A lot of small towns do that. 2 minutes, 32 seconds left in the first quarter. In fact, Jerry Breckheisen's got a story in a high school game. He scored a touchdown, the horns start going off, the lights. He didn't know what to think. He'd never been there before.
Fun stuff. You got to love it. One of my favorite stories is how you were telling me about how you had the new press box but there was no roof on it and it was raining, and so you had to do
it wasn't raining. It was just really
cold, really cold. Okay, that's what it was. But you had to do it. No roof on the press box. New press box, but they hadn't got the roof on yet. So, and then I love the story about how you had to climb up to that one ladder to the center and how you
at Center High School. No, Bennington High School, excuse me.
Yeah, in the center, you had to climb that little ladder and get out in the center of the little hatch. You've got so many great stories.
Crawl through a trap door, rip out your pants.
I get to hear some of the funnest stories driving with Dewey to these football games. It's so much fun.
We had a timeout down on the field. Topeka High took it. Now they're going to punt on 4th down, and they're just simply talking about how do we get this kick away.
Not like that.
Blue Jays put a hard rush. The kick goes straight up. It's coming back. It's rolling back in the Topeka High and goes out of bounds inside Topeka High territory at the 29. The net punt on this particular punt, 1 yard.
Well, and that's unfortunate, but what happened, Blue Jays not only got good penetration, but the punter he didn't this time run to the side and punt it. He went ahead and tried to punt it quickly. I think that's what his coaches probably said, and unfortunately he had to rush his punt, and it went straight up in the air. And that's tough when you're the team that's receiving the punt because you can't let it touch you as it's coming down, because then the other team can get it. And so you have to get away. Well, nobody knew where the ball was, and you could hear everybody yelling, "Where's the ball? Where's the ball?" So they were all trying to find it, and it was a very, very high punt, so they couldn't figure out where the ball was.
All right, here we go. First down. The Blue Jays get wonderful field position just inside the 30-yard line of the Trojans. Long signal count for Andrew. Rolls left. Turns himself, runs upfield. He doesn't do this much. He's inside the 25, down to the 23. Goes for a 6-yard gain.
Speed option right there, made a good read. We saw him do it against Seaman pretty successfully. He had several nice runs in that game against Seaman on that speed option. Usually when Andrew does run the ball on that speed option, you see them, the defender, the outside linebacker, the defensive end, a lot of times will start to move towards the pitch man, which would be DJ, the fullback, and Andrew does a good job cutting it back inside to get 3 or 4 yards, sometimes more. We've seen him get 10, 12 yards on that play.
Second down coming up for the Blue Jays. They put 2 receivers, wide right, 2 wide left on the near side. Take the snap. Andrew rolls out, flushes, going to dump it deep into the end zone. Marcelo's got it. Touchdown. Over the top. Nobody back there on him defensively.
Not a single guy. Ran a corner route again, and that was a beautifully run route, but Andrew was able to, no pressure right there. He had to roll to his left, and he had a little bit of pressure behind him, but was able to take his time getting rid of the football and did a nice job getting it in there to Marcelo for the touchdown.
1:37 remaining in the first quarter. The Blue Jays once again will try to kick the extra point. There's the snap. It's down. Kick is up, and I think it was blocked, and it was by Topeka High. That snap came in pretty slow.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but either way, still it was blocked, and so they missed the last 2. And even that last one, it looked a little unusual because you don't see a kick like that, especially with a kicker with a power like it. And he doesn't kick it always as high, but that's twice now, and so somehow they're getting in there. We've had a problem with that this year.
Yep, the Blue Jays getting set to kick off again. Right now on the season, they're 12 of 20 for PATs. That's not bad, but they got to get the blocking working in the snap and the kick.
Well, and now 4 or 5 of those have been blocked.
Yeah, I think 4. So Junction City will kick off from the 40-yard line.
Usually we're seeing them come off of that left edge. In fact, in Washburn Rural, there were 2 that were blocked. Was the same guy.
Hayden gets the football and puts it down on the tee. Topeka High has got to be a little disoriented, down 19-0 in the first quarter. Field is a sophomore, Junction City High School. Now prepares for the kickoff.
Kicking off for the Blue Jays, Number 42, Aiden Field.
And the ball falls off the tee. So
back to those kicks you saw. So Aiden early in the year was getting them a little higher, but they changed his stepping, try to get up there a little quicker so the blocking, you could take some pressure off the line, and that's causing him to flatten out his kicks just a little bit, but they'll get that worked out.
Field getting set to kick off. They reset the ball. There's the kickoff from the 40-yard line. Kind of a line drive right down the field, bouncing at the 20, down the 12. Topeka High had a little trouble picking it up. They finally get it, and they get about a 5-yard return. Tylen Alejos, and it will be Junction City breaking out the defense again. And right now I'm just seeing a dominant Blue Jay football team.
Yeah, and that was another design kick. So what they did that time, they, like we talked about, kicking them to a zone, and that time it was over the up backs, and there was just one guy deep, and so he had to move over to go get the ball. And the way that it was kicked and the way that they try to kick those lower, flatter type, longer kicks instead of getting them way up in the air, the way that works, it makes it a little harder for them to catch.
Well, the Trojans break the huddle and come toward the line of scrimmage. 19-0 Blue Jays, 1st and 10 Topeka High. They put the ball at the Trojan 18-yard line. There's a handoff to Kennedy, hands off to the running back. They're trying to run dive plays up the middle, and they're simply not getting anywhere. They got 1 yard that time.
Well, the Blue Jay defensive line did a nice job right there, getting in there and busting that up. And again, Keegan McConnell, but right there, Judah Peterson, the nose guard, looks like he took out. So it looked like they were trying to run a trap right there, and it looks like Judah did exactly what he needed to do, is get low, crawl through there, and try and get that trapper, take his legs out. So Judah Peterson did a nice job as the nose guard on that play for the Blue Jays, disrupting what looked like was supposed to be a trap by Topeka High.
1 yard gain on the play. They snap it back to Kennedy. Wants to throw. The freshman now forced out of the pocket, trying to run, dumps it up the field, completes the pass at 32, across the 35 to the 38, and that'll be a first down for the Topeka High Trojans. That time the pass completed to the wide receiver Elijah Kincaid. That is the first down of the game for Topeka High.
Well, when you're 6'5", 230, you can see over your line pretty well. And that time he was able to roll. He kept his composure, looked a little more comfortable that time, just a freshman quarterback, and let the route develop and made a nice pass.
Kennedy back to throw. Has time. Good blocking. Dumps it down the middle. The pass tipped, and it is almost intercepted. Not quite. It was tipped by 2 Blue Jays. Had their hands on it at the Junction City 38-yard line. They just could not maintain it. Jordan Irby was back there, and Javon George both had their hands on the ball and didn't make the catch. It'll be 2nd down. See what Topeka High comes up with this time. They got 2 receivers wide right, 2 wide left. Snap to B.J. Kennedy. Looks left, dumps a pass low on the left flat, incomplete. That one intended that time for the wide receiver, Naz Phillips. First time they've thrown to him in the ball game tonight.
10 Trojans from the 39-yard line.
You'll see him run kind of your typical spread routes when they go. They'll run some verticals. They'll flood one side of the field, some shallow drags. A lot of times they'll run a flare. They'll run some little bubbles and screens to their tailbacks. But mostly what you're going to see them do are those shallow crossing type routes and flooding one side of the field.
3rd down 10 coming up for the Trojans. They hand it off in the backfield, and it's going to be a loss. About back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a 1 yard loss. They give the football coming right to Tylen Alejos, and he's wrapped up quickly.
Yeah, so right there, the Blue Jay defense doing a really nice job. Elijah Clark-Boyd, the sophomore defensive end, getting in there, making the initial contact, and a whole host of Blue Jays coming in afterwards. So the Blue Jays doing a good job reading this run, and like I said, Game 6, and we've seen this offense, 4 or 5 times already this year, 4 times.
Get set for an adventure. Topeka High looking at a punting situation, but the first quarter comes to a close. Your Blue Jays on top tonight, 19-0. We'll be back right after this.
Andrews & Associates has been serving the Manhattan community with patient-oriented therapy since 1998. And now they're open to serve Junction City with the same high-quality care. Andrews & Associates offers counseling services for individuals of all ages, as well as family, couples, marriage, and pre-marriage counseling. Andrews & Associates welcomes our local military community and accepts TRICARE coverage. Visit them online at andrewsinc.net. Andrews & Associates, now open in Junction City, committed to your hope, growth, and healing.
you're anything like me, you don't like mowing your own lawn. Well, I found out that Town & Country Mowing and Landscaping loves client satisfaction. See, they're big enough to provide service to large campuses, yet small enough to ensure personal attention. They specialize in mowing, trimming, edging, tree trimming, trimming shrubs, and weed control. Finally, a company that's more particular about your lawn than you are. Experience the difference working with Town & Country Mowing and Landscape. Give them a call, 785-579-6275. For all your outdoor needs, from seeds to weeds, they do it all.
The Blue Jays on 107.9 FM and 1420 KJCK.
And we go to the second quarter at Al Simpler Stadium tonight. The Blue Jays leading 19-0 over the Topeka High Trojans. Topeka High ready for another punting adventure. 4th down, 10. They'll be kicking from their 25-yard line. Blue Jays rushing off the left end, but the kick's away. That's their best one of the night. And it's caught at the 34. Junction City brings it back across the 40. Russell's on the return across the 50, down the right side, trying to go all the way at the 30. 2 to beat, and they're going to push him out of bounds inside the 15-yard line at the 14-yard line of the Topeka High Trojans. He took off the 34 all the way down to the 14 of Topeka High.
Javon George did an outstanding job blocking right there, too. He looked to see where Russell was coming and realized that he was coming behind him, and so he turned and made a really nice block. Russell read it well and was able to get about another 8 or 10 yards right there out of that run after that block.
Well, the Blue Jays can just power this in if they want to, I think. Junction City sends the offense out. Blue Jays have Andrew Corey coming on at quarterback. DJ Giddens in the backfield. Now there are 2 receivers, now 3 on the near side. Officials are blowing the whistle. And I think we're going to have a timeout. We do by Topeka High. So we'll take a 30-second break right here. Junction City 19, the Trojans nothing. They'll be back right after this.
Junction City Abstract and Title Company is your local title insurance and real estate closing agency. Junction City Abstract and Title has been serving Junction City for over 60 years, handling both closing and settlement all under one roof at 807 North Washington Street in Junction City. Junction City Abstract and Title is proud to sponsor Blue Jay Athletics and the athletes as they have worked hard to stay safe during an unprecedented year. Have a great year both on and off the field. Go Blue Jays from Junction City Abstract and Title.
Well, the Blue Jays took the timeout as well. They come over and talk with head coach Randall Zimmerman. Now the defense ready. Marcelo Bussey will go out wide left on the far side. They'll put 3 on the near side. Junction City. Looks like they're lining up Demarion Sellers at a wide receiver spot. TJ Jones in there as well on the slot on the right side. Public address system still running. They're waiting on that to stop. Now we'll get the ball game back underway. 1st and 10 Blue Jays. 14-yard line of the Trojans. Right hash on the near side. Snap to Andrew. They hand off to DJ. Rumbles right. They grab him by the back of the jersey and the ankles, and they roll him backwards. 2-yard gain. That's all Junction City gets on 1st down.
Well, and that was nicely read that time by the defensive front for Topeka High. They were able to read what the offensive line was doing. So they were zone blocking, but what they were doing when they got their penetration is they tried to stunt. They slanted a little bit, and when they saw that the Blue Jay offensive line was going to try and go with the slant, then they went back the other way.
Looking at 2nd down, about 9 for the Junction City Blue Jays.
When you zone block, that's kind of how that works. It's almost becoming more of a game than it is a forceful kind of a thing. It's interesting to watch.
Nate Green tight end left side. In tight. They snap it to Andrew. They've jumped the pass out on the left flat to Russell. Hit once at the 11 and knocked down hard. He took another hard pop on his right shoulder. And the Blue Jays now looking at 3rd down. They've got to go to the 4 for a 1st and goal.
Well, that was a great tackle that time for Topeka High. I think was that Isaiah Kincaid that made that tackle. He's a defensive back and also a running back. And he did a really nice job right there coming up initiating the contact. Just a freshman, Dewey. 6 foot 175.
3rd down 7 for the Blue Jays. 11-yard line of the Trojans. They shift toward the left side of the field. Kind of a big 3rd down right here. Andrew takes the snap, rolls right. Goes in the corner of the end zone. He's got a touchdown. Near corner of the end zone, the Junction City Blue Jays make the catch. And just like that, expand the lead to 25-0. Russell Wilkie caught the pass.
Well, a lot of times we see him do that for the 2-point conversion, but you run, your outside guy runs a post, Russell comes out underneath from the slot. Nobody was with him. Topeka High did not read that well, and it was wide open for a touchdown.
Blue Jays get set to kick the extra point. Trey Goggins will hold. Aiden Field to kick. There's the snap. PAT is on the way, and that's perfect. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back right after this.
Andrews & Associates has been serving the Manhattan community with patient-oriented therapy since 1998. And now they're open to serve Junction City with the same high-quality care. Andrews & Associates offers counseling services for individuals of all ages, as well as family, couples, marriage, and pre-marriage counseling. Andrews & Associates welcomes our local military community and accepts TRICARE coverage. Visit them online at andrewsinc.net. Andrews & Associates, now open in Junction City, committed to your hope, growth, and healing.
And we're back at Al Simpler Stadium at halftime tonight. I'll talk with Junction City High School Principal Melissa Sharp about the start of the school year. As Junction City is preparing to kick off to Topeka High, the Blue Jays have jumped out to a 26-0 first quarter lead. You know something? I remember a game many years ago, Brian, where the Blue Jays led 40-0 in the first quarter, took the starters out. Topeka High started to come back, and Junction City put the starters back in and got a bunch of people hurt, and they paid for that for about 4 weeks.
Well, there you go, and I need to go back and look, Dewey. I'm going to look at these numbers here, but if I'm not mistaken, I'll tell you after this kickoff by Aiden.
Aiden tees it up, right hash mark at the 40-yard line on the near side. Last PAT was pretty good. There's the kick, straight down the field, squibs it down to the 28-yard line, picked up there by the Trojans. They run it back across the 35 to the 37-yard line on the return that time for Topeka High. Diego Carr, he's normally a running back on offense, plays some at linebacker, and he did bring it back about 10 yards. That's the best return of the night for the Trojans. So the Blue Jays bring that defense back out, and so far I'd say the best defensive performance we've seen for a while.
Yeah, in fact, good job by the Blue Jay defense. So negative 3 yards so far for Topeka High in this game. 20 yards was all they allowed in the first half of total, or first quarter in total offense for Topeka High. Blue Jay defense doing a really nice job tonight.
1st and 10, Trojans, their 37-yard line. Moving east to west, right to left here early in the second quarter tonight. Kennedy takes the snap, dumps a pass to flat, tipped up in the air, and it is intercepted by Junction City. Jordan Derby's got it, gets it back across the 40. He's tackled inside the 40 at the 34-yard line, a 6-yard return. He caught it off the deflection.
Well, but that's nicely read, and that's not always easy to do, Dewey, because a lot of times you're reading a ball and you see the path of the ball, and so you start setting up, getting ready to go up and make the tackle, and the next thing you know, the ball changes direction in flight, and you have to kind of make an adjustment, and Jordan did a great job, experienced corner for the Blue Jays, a senior corner, did a really nice job reading that and coming in and making the interception.
All right, 1st and 10, Blue Jays, 46-yard line of the Topeka High Trojans. Andrew Corey, DJ Giddens in the backfield. Marcelo Bussey lines up wide right this time. Now they shift him in toward the line. Topeka High has 4 down linemen on the play. A handoff, just a quick handoff in the backfield to DJ running on the right side, runs over a Trojan, but he hangs on, and DJ lunges forward to just shy of the 40, so about a 4-yard gain on the first down rush. That was a tough tackle that time by Will Heavner. He got run over, dragged, but he did not give up on the play. Second down, Blue Jays line up in a hurry. Trips left, 3 wide, right on the left side. Blue Jays snap it to Andrew, they throw it right. Marcelo's got it, wheels it up the field for a first down inside the 35 to the 33. Blue Jays go for 8 on the pass play. So Junction City will now regroup as they move the chains on the far side. The Blue Jays lead 26-0 in tonight's ball game. Andrew takes the next play, going to go far side, looking to throw, pumps twice down the sideline, got a receiver at the 18-yard line. It's Russell inside the 10. And they'll stack him up at the 8. Boy, he was just wide open out there, Brian.
He was. You know, and again, Andrews just is so good at rolling, reading the defense. That is what his strength is. We know he's got a really good arm. We know he's very poised. And if you know Andrew very well, he doesn't really get very rattled at anything. But I just like the way he reads the defense. You can see him processing all the time.
Blue Jays running right on the near side. DJ heading to the corner of the end zone. And that's not DJ. Junction City's got a touchdown. Running inside the pylon on the near side of the field on a sweep to the near side, left to right. And the Blue Jays expand the lead here to 32-0. On the ball carry that time, Demarion Sellers.
Yeah, it was just a sweep play right there to him, a jet sweep type play, and blocked very, very well by the Blue Jays.
And we'll try another extra point.
Number 42, Aiden Field.
Aiden Field getting a chance to work on his game tonight. Trey Goggins will hold. There's the snap. Kick is on the way, and it's perfect. We'll stay here this time. I do want to tell you, Central National Bank, Keating Chiropractic, and Junction City Abstract and Title sponsor Blue Jay football. And so far, so good, Brian.
Yeah, in fact, I just like what I'm seeing out of this team tonight. And Topeka High, honestly, you can tell, they're a few weeks behind because they just look kind of slow to read things. But I can tell you this, that is because they have not seen a team as fast as Junction City. In fact, when you watch these defenses, we got a player down, Dewey, so I hope he's okay. So I'm trying to see who that is.
7-yard line.
Coach Zimmerman's out there with Dr. Jenkins and, of course, the team trainer Brandon Martino. And so looks like they're looking at a right leg. It doesn't look like a cramp the way they're stretching it. So it's not a leg injury, but we don't want to lose anybody. This is a good football team doing, and they could go deep into the playoffs. And I'm going to tell you why. We know the defense at times has played very well, and they're getting better. Early on, the defense, maybe some individualism. They're working much better now. But here's the thing. This offense can score so fast, and the teams that play them and the coaches that play them talk about how fast they are in film. And that's Rudy Vargas, I believe. He's coming off the field under his own power, Dewey, so that's good.
They got out there in a hurry with a doctor, a trainer, a head coach, and a manager bringing water.
Well, Rudy, just a junior, but I'll tell you what, good-sized kid for the Blue Jays, 6'2", 255. That defensive end, he was a nose guard last year. They moved him out to defensive end, and for a bigger guy, he can move, and he's done a nice job for the Blue Jays and getting better every week.
He got full A-plus treatment right there.
He got A-plus treatment.
He got medical treatment, and he got water.
There you go.
Well, the Blue Jays are getting set to kick off with a nice, big, comfortable lead here in the first half. 9:10 to go until the break. 33-0, Junction City. Here's Aiden Field to kick off from the 40, and he kind of sidewinds it back to the left side, right to left, down to the 23. Picked up there, back across the 30, and a 9-yard return to the 32.
Returned by number 2, Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith carried the football.
It's fun. I just got to tell this story because I thought it was kind of cute the other night. So Aiden was talking about when he's getting ready to kick off and how the team's kind of standing there and they're all lined up and how that music plays. And he was kind of talking about the music and how loud it is. And, how baseball, you don't always have that. And so it's just a different atmosphere. And so these guys talk about that, the difference between baseball, football, and the differences in the atmosphere of the game and the noise and the excitement. It's just a different situation.
Well, the Blue Jays reset the defense, and they have done some damage tonight in this ball game. Last time picked off a pass, and that set up a scoring drive. There's a running play up the middle, and Topeka High lunges forward to the 35. They got 3 on the carry.
Really nice play, and I think
Number 33,
Diego Carr carried the ball.
Yeah, so for the Blue Jays right there is at number 45 it is. That is Michael Boganowski, just a freshman for the Blue Jays, and such a good kid and such a hard worker. The coaches are so high on him, and he's done such a nice job for the Blue Jays this year at his linebacker position.
Second down 7 coming up for the Trojans. Right hash, or the Topeka side of the field. Blue Jays put 5 up on the defensive line. 3 down linemen. Snap to Canada. Rushing up the middle, Diego Carr. Tough guy to bring down. They'll wrestle him down at the 38. He gained 3 more to still be third down.
Topeka's keeping it pretty vanilla tonight. We saw them do a lot of different stuff on film against Highland Park last week. They ran a pretty good portion of their offense, and against Manhattan they kept it pretty vanilla too, just trying to kind of power right now. But this Blue Jay defense is awfully quick, and that's the thing. Back to the quickness, when you hear about the teams that have played Junction City or the coaches that watch them on film, and when they talk about before the game, is how fast this team is, how fast the defense is to the ball, how fast the receivers run their routes, how fast the running backs are, how quickly the guards pull, and how well they line up their blocks and the offensive line. Just a very fast team all around.
Here we go, running play. Carr hit in the backfield just after he got the football. Took forever to make the handoff for Topeka High. Carr was dropped for just almost no gain. Now it's 4th down 3 for the Trojans.
Michael Boganowski again. That's about as fired up as I've seen him too. If you saw him get up pumping his fists and slapping fives with his teammates, and that's what you love to see. And there's a freshman right now that is growing, and he is going to be a key part of this Blue Jay football team for the next few years.
Now here comes the play in for the Trojans. It looks like they may try to go for it. Down 33-0. You're on your own 39-yard line. 4th down 3. Two receivers come wide left from the near side. Carr's in the backfield now. The lone setback with B.J. Candidate. Candidate from the shotgun. Turns, looks to throw right. Pass is complete. First down. They get it across the 45 to the 46. Gain of 7. Just a quick hitter. The guy, receiver, stood on the far sideline. He didn't even really come in toward the line of scrimmage. And they complete the pass that time.
We've seen that some teams do that this year a little more. And so, they got a player down now. Topeka High does too. And he's
Jalen
rolling
Fulton
around,
caught the pass. And yes, there is an injured Trojan.
Hopefully he's okay.
Well, they don't have a doctor. They don't have a trainer. They do have an assistant coach. Junction City sending someone over from the side. Looks like Brandon Martino will come across the field. What assistance he can provide. Brandon, many of you may remember, but he was a pretty fine football player here at Junction City High School.
Yes, he was. In fact, looking through the stats, Dewey, I need to go see which one he's on. He's in the depth chart of career stats for the Blue Jays, and so this was put together by Coach Goheen, and he's done such a nice job going through the Blue Jay history, all the scores of the teams, each team, each year, each game since 1950, and all-time individual football stats. He's kind of compiled those. They've years, and he kind of put them in a good form to read, and so great work by Coach Goheen, and if you know him, such a great guy, loves these kids, and this is the kind of stuff he likes to do because he knows that he's honoring some of these past players in the history and tradition of Junction City High School football, and so it's really cool to see that stuff. I'm going to go look while we're talking about Brandon Martino. I know he's on here. I'm going to find his name.
He was on the
there he is right there.
2008 state championship team.
So he had 27 receptions in a season in 2008 as part of that team, and so Ty Zimmerman, of course, quarterback that threw those to him, and going back to Ty and talking about Andrew and some of the records that Andrew Corey setting this year and some of the ones he's already set, and talking about Ty Zimmerman. A lot of people forget that Ty Zimmerman's first year on varsity, he was a receiver.
Actually, he was a safety.
But and a safety. But yeah, he played
as a
receiver
freshman.
and
He was a safety, and then he came over to receiver as a sophomore.
Yeah, and then he was it's interesting to see the parallels between Ty and Ryan Hennington and Andrew Corey.
Don't forget Braden Galentine.
Braden Galentine's got some records in here, and also so does Ryan Springston.
Yeah, way back. He came in at the start of his sophomore year. He had played at Dodge City or Garden City.
Yeah, the Blue Jays were always such a traditional ranked. When I was playing, we threw the ball maybe 5-6 times a game, and it was usually a streak down the field or maybe a little out when we needed a short first down. And as a running back, we threw to our backs a lot. That's who caught the balls a lot of times.
Here we go, 1st and 10 for the Topeka High Trojans. Their 46-yard line. Pass back on the near side of the flat, just across the 50 at the 48 is where they'll mark forward progress. The pass complete to Elijah Williams, 5'10 senior. And the Trojans moving the football here a little bit on this possession.
Yeah, and they can do that, and they did a nice job last week against against Highland Park, and we kind of know Highland Park's a little bit down. They've got some young kids, but those freshmen last year, Dewey, are all now sophomores. The coach kept them together. I really respect what the coach at Highland Park has done, but Topeka High moved the ball pretty well against them at times last week.
2nd down 5 for Topeka. Candidate to throw. Dumps it out in the right flat. Now the pass is caught at the 46 of Topeka High. On the run, they're going to get a little bit, about 2 yards down to the Blue Jay 46-yard line. So it'll bring up 3rd down and a short 2 for the Topeka High Trojans. That was a nice run after the catch. It looked like it was going to be a loss on the play, but instead, after making the catch, Naz Phillips picked up some yardage.
Yeah, and we're seeing Xavion Felton back in there at fullback. Nate Harge was getting most of the playing time there in the first quarter. Now we're seeing Xavion Felton back in there at his linebacker position. I want to mention, too, something about Corey O'Connor here in a minute.
3rd down 2 coming up. Candidate gets the snap. They hand off to the running back, and Junction City trying to hold the line. They can't do it. A 3-yard rush right up the middle. 1st and 10, Topeka High. Once again, they move the chains.
Corey O'Connor, another sophomore linebacker for the Blue Jays, as is Xavion Felton. Those two guys, they're going to be, you have those two guys and Michael Boganowski coming back next year. That's going to be so nice. But O'Connor's done a really nice job at his linebacker position. He's one of those guys that makes a play happen. Maybe doesn't always get the tackle or you don't say his name, but he's a guy that makes a lot of things happen because he's so assignment sound and is where he needs to be during the play.
All right, 2 receivers come wide left as Candidate takes the snap, dumps a pass in the flat to Phillips, and it's bounced off his chest. He was hit right as he caught the football.
Boy, Boganowski's just playing with so much more confidence, and he's moving very quick tonight, but he's the one that broke up that pass play from his linebacker position, so he's usually got the flat on that, and so he saw what was going on and knew exactly what he needed to do. I don't know if the Blue Jays look like maybe they're in a cover 8 that time.
Got a penalty on the Topeka High Trojans procedure. They'll march it back 5 yards, and they'll go to 1st and 15.
You know, a lot of times, too, you can tell so much easier, but with the way the blocking is and pass blocking, and so a lot of times that defensive line, that middle linebacker will start yelling pass, and so you can change your coverage a little bit. You know, it's a little different than it used to be 10, 15 years ago. The game's evolved so much, and so a lot of times you change your coverage in the middle based on what you see and what you hear.
First down, 15 coming up for the Trojans from the Blue Jay 47, 33-0. Junction City, second quarter action tonight. Snap back to Canada, drops back. Flushed out of the pocket to the right. Blue Jays catch him from behind and wheel him down at the 50. A loss of 3. When he doesn't find that first option receiver, he doesn't usually have the time to look for another.
Well, he definitely didn't right there because the Blue Jays blitzed Xavion Felton from his will linebacker position, and he got in there so fast. And, of course, the rollout was naturally the other way, but Xavion, of course, is so quick, and Xavion's been playing some running back, too, in the JV games, and also can even play a little quarterback, and so just a very talented kid, but he's very quick, and he was able to run down the quarterback and also had some help from the left side of that defensive line.
Football right on the 50-yard line. Second down, 18 for the Topeka High Trojans. Right now in the second quarter, 4 minutes, 18 seconds remaining on the clock. Candidate to throw, pumps once, grabbed by the arm, breaks free on the scramble. He's hit and pushed down. Another penalty flag at the Blue Jay 47. He gained 3 on the rush. The penalty flag's on the other side of the field.
Well, I think it's going to be an offensive lineman for Topeka High. Xavion Felton was on the ground. I didn't see exactly what they did, but something occurred right there.
And they're going to march it back downfield. That's clear.
Yeah, I think it was after the play, or at least away from there was some kind of personal foul. Oh, holding, okay.
Holding occurred at the 47-yard line on the far side of the field.
Yeah, well, you could see it was against Topeka High on Xavion Felton. It was Xavion who they were holding. But when you get in there and blitz on a play like the last time, and you're so quick, that's what you're going to start seeing as these Blue Jays continue to blitz, and they'll put some pressure on for the rest of this quarter. And that's something else about Topeka High. A lot of times they'll blitz. We're not seeing them blitz quite as much tonight. So Topeka High declined it.
Junction City declined it.
Junction City declined that. Yeah, so they're going to third and long. Junction City declined it.
All right, third down coming up. Football at the Blue Jay 47-yard line. Blue Jays would like to have the ball one more time before the halftime break.
It's a good call right there to decline that by Coach Z.
Canada under heavy rush, and they're going to try and sack him. He breaks free of one. Still on the run, throws down the field. The ball tipped, caught, and intercepted by the Blue Jays at the 40.
They're going to say, did he? Yep.
He caught it.
Yep. I'm going to see who that is. Is that Javon again, or who is that?
Blue Jays get it and come back to the 40-yard line. Just a short return after the catch. I could not tell which Blue Jay caught it.
I think it was Javon, but we'll find out differently. Maybe it was Ontarius, the way they're slapping his hands. So I don't know. We'll find out. Either way, the way that he jumped, so he grabbed that ball just before it hit the ground. It was tipped, and he dove and just got his mitts on it. A great interception. But, again, Blue Jays getting a lot of pressure on that quarterback, and he's young. He's just a freshman, and he's a big kid and can see over the line, but right there just not as mobile maybe yet as a freshman and doesn't read things quite as quickly.
Blue Jays go 1st and 10 from their 40. New quarterback in still Andrew. Throws a pass out in the flat on the near side to Marcelo, and they push him out of bounds at the 47. Gain of 7 on first down.
So we talked about the route running of Marcelo and how good his hands are, but what I really like about Marcelo is the way that he catches the football. When you watch early on, remember he'd kind of try to catch the ball side to side and would miss him. Now he's very good at getting those hands when you kind of show how you put your fingers and your thumbs together. Does a really good job. He's a much better fundamental pass catcher now than he was even in the beginning of the season, and we know how well he was catching the ball then.
Second down, short distance for the Blue Jays. DJ Giddens still in the backfield with Andrew Corey. 3 receivers wide left. Marcelo comes wide on the near side. No tight end right now. Junction City goes with Corey rolling out to the left. Throws it down the side. Under through the pass a little bit. Is it caught? No. Intended for Russell at the 37-yard line of the Trojans. Incomplete. It'll be third down short.
Well, Andrew under pressure, and also with the defensive backs the way they were on the route that Russell was running, he had to throw the ball out in front of him and low, and was hoping that Russell would go down and get in, and Russell tried, but they just couldn't connect on that one.
Comes Nate Green in at tight end. He'll line up on the left side to put Marcelo wide right.
We'll see that C-gap play right here to DJ probably is what they'll run.
Russell spreads out along with Christian Tabora on the far side. Snap to Andrew. They're going to run DJ right up the middle. Spun around the backfield. He gains nothing. He loses one. And Junction City will now have 4th and about 2.5.
That was incredibly well read and defended that time by Topeka High, number 52, Jamari Pleasant. He's a 6'1", 245 defensive lineman, a junior, and he got in there and disrupted that play and did a really nice job.
Here we go, 4th down short for the Blue Jays. Can they power it ahead for a first down?
Go off tackle, go through that C-gap. They got him to jump.
Andrew staggered the count. Topeka High came across. It'll be a 5-yard penalty on the Trojans. And Junction City will move down to the Topeka High 46-yard line with the 1st and 10. Now, in the first half, 3 minutes, 3 seconds left until the break. Put the down marker and get the chains all set. Junction City, you go in a hurry. DJ Giddens ran over at the sideline real quick. Now comes back in. Andrew, hands on hips, looking over at Coach Zimmerman on the sideline. Three receivers, wide left, one on the near side. They hand off, fake action fake to DJ. Andrew's going to roll left, can run for the first down. Instead, he's going to pass deep, looking for Russell. That didn't have a prayer. He could have run for the first down. Instead, Junction City will turn the football over at the 46-yard line of the Trojans.
That's just, that was because that was the first down play they'd gotten the first down. So they go deep there on first down, the Blue Jays do. So Andrew had to run, and a lot of times on the run, throwing that deep for a right-handed quarterback running to his left, you got to square up your shoulders, you got to get your hips right. It's a very tough pass when you're running and throwing the ball that far, but just about hooked up right there.
The Trojans take over. They've got 2 minutes, 38 seconds left to work with in the first half here tonight. They're going to run it. Well, the Blue Jays have got the ball. They gave him a first down. They're going to run T.J. Jones down to 30. Now, Brian, I'm not sure what happened here.
So the Blue Jays got the first down on the last running play. The Blue Jays got the first down. So then they threw the ball on first down. That's
on me.
Yeah, so no, it's okay. It was first down on the pass play, so that's second down. TJ just did a great job running the football in the sweep, getting the first down.
I thought they called 4th down. Junction City runs DJ Giddens off the left tackle, slicing into the secondary, inside the 20, and down to the 19-yard line. That should be another first down.
Yeah, so the offside penalty on the voice inflection by Andrews got the first down, but TJ did a great job on that sweep, and right there, Giddens goes off tackle through that C-gap like we talked about. Such good chemistry on the Blue Jays, the way they run that play. They've gotten a lot of yards on that running play this year.
Another running play. DJ Giddens again. They wrap him up and they pull him down just shy of the 15 at the 16, a 3-yard rush.
So that time they faked the jet sweep and they ran that play behind the jet sweep, and the left side of that offensive line, of course, we've talked about it, doing a really nice job. That offensive front for the Blue Jays, period. Anson Jacobson at center. You got Chris Owens and Logan Nabis at the guards, and Sutu Jawala and TJ Osa at the offensive tackles.
Blue Jays set the offense again. The snap to Andrew. They're going to sweep right on the near side. Russell left with the block from DJ. Comes around at the 10. The 5 on the side. Dives for the pylon, but he's short at the 2-yard line. He's out of bounds. So Junction City takes it down close to the goal line.
DJ lead blocking on that play. That was outstanding. But also Marcelo Bussey did a nice little crack block right there. The linebacker was trying to come in with the tackle, and he stepped in and made a great block. And you love to see your wide receivers get involved in the running game by blocking so well.
All right, Blue Jays put 3 receivers wide left. One on the near side is Marcelo Bussey. Andrew Corey now sets in the offensive backfield. They hand it off to DJ straight up the middle, and he just kind of trotted casually into the end zone. He scores with 1:35 to go in the first half, 39-0 Blue Jays.
Untouched. I mean, the Blue Jay offensive line just blocked that so well right there. They got in behind Anson Jacobson at center. You got Logan Nabis at the right guard and Chris Owens at the left guard, and they just opened up a giant hole and went in untouched, did DJ Giddens for the touchdown.
Hayden Field on to kick the extra point. Trey Goggins to hold. There's the snap. It's good. Kick's on the way. And it's 40-0 Junction City. Cardinal Insurance, Town and Country Mowing, Jim Clark, Chevrolet Cadillac, support Junction City Blue Jay football. We'll keep it here in the Central National Bank press box. And Brian, it's a chance tonight to work with a lot of players and work on a lot of things.
Well, the nice thing is it's your home, and so you've got some other kids suited up that play some JV and do some scout team stuff, and so this is an opportunity for them to get rewarded by getting some varsity playing time. You know, because of COVID-19, the travel squads are smaller, and so Topeka's only allowing 45, and so at Hummer against Topeka West, we only had 45, and at Washburn Rural, usually I think they try to take about 50 or 60 on the road. I'm not sure. We'd have to find out for sure, but I know that they're less, and so you've got some kids suited up tonight that haven't gotten to travel that would normally get to travel in the varsity, and so tonight they'll have the opportunity to get some playing time.
And that's good. You prevent injuries to your starters too.
Well, you do, but you want your starters to stay sharp, so they'll probably play some in the third quarter, and then you'll see them make that change. They didn't get to do that last week against Topeka West because they didn't have as many kids with them.
So Junction City getting set to kick off. Kick goes down short to about the 27, drop, picked back up by the Trojans. They'll bring it back across the 35-40, and finally rolled out of bounds at the 41-yard line. On the return that time for Topeka High, Elijah Williams, second kick return for him in the ball game. And the Blue Jays bring the defense out to finish off the first half. 1:30 seconds left in the second quarter. Junction City has really played about as well, I think, Brian denies we've seen them all year.
Well, yeah, and Topeka High, honestly, you can just tell, and you feel bad for them, and you understand, I guess when 501 the board decided to start late, but you can just tell that this is a team that's a little bit behind, and they're playing a really good football team in Junction City who's very fast. The game's just moving awfully fast for Topeka High tonight.
1st and 10, Trojans trying to run, and they're going to get, out to the 44-yard line. Just shy of the 44, short gain of about 2. It'll be second down.
You have two of the best players that ever played for Topeka High there last year. Devontae Harden and Kai Thomas. Kai Thomas was supposed to go to Minnesota, and I think that is where he went, Dewey, but he had an opportunity to go to Minnesota to play, and I think that he did. And so Devontae was at KU, and so it goes to tell you that you got two guys that went Division I right there. You lose those guys, and now you got a freshman quarterback who's coming in, and he doesn't even get to play the first 3 weeks any games, and so now he's coming in, and this is just his third game. And I'm pretty impressed with this kid and watching what he's done on film, but he's very poised and doing a nice job. Big kid, just a freshman quarterback.
Second down 8 for the Trojans. A bad snap goes behind the quarterback here. Run back and fall on the football at the Trojan 31-yard line.
I think what happened right there, because the offensive line moved a little bit later after the ball, I think the ball was snapped a little early. The quarterback wasn't quite ready for it.
All right, third down coming up, and 20.
I'm so impressed, though, with their center, Dewey. He has a great shotgun snap. It is very fast, very flat, and very spiraled, and so really impressed with their center, Topeka High center.
Now third down coming up for the Trojans, and they've taken a timeout with 23.6 seconds left in the half. You a little surprised at that?
That they took the timeout?
Yeah.
No, they want to maybe try one more play or just talk to their kids about something that they saw. This is learning mode now for this young team. They've got some seniors and some returning guys, but, a lot of sophomores, freshmen, and some juniors playing for Topeka High, and a new coach. New head coach who's been their defensive coordinator, and so Carlos Kelly, his first year as the head coach at Topeka High, replacing Walt Alexander, who in a lot of ways is considered a legend at Topeka High, and had a good run for several years, very successful, making it to the playoffs, some Centennial League titles, so Carlos Kelly is going to take some time to talk to his kids because now they're in learning mode too, but again, I want to go back to their center, Jeff Moore. He's a senior, 6 foot 255, and he does a nice job. But you've got some returning guys here for Topeka High, but a lot of young guys too, and so when you start 3 weeks later than everybody else, then you're just on your third game and everybody else is on week 6. It makes it pretty tough, and so we saw that with Topeka West last week as well.
Well, here we go. Third down, 20 for the Topeka High Trojans. B.J. Kennedy, the quarterback, 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. They turn. They're going to run a draw play, and they get absolutely nothing carrying the ball, Alejas, and it will be fourth down.
Well, and that was read so well by Xavion Felton, the Will linebacker, and that's his responsibility and his gap right there, and he read that very well, shot in there and made a nice play. And, And but when you go back to talking about Topeka High and some of the guys that they have, they've got some seniors on their defense, but a lot of juniors and sophomores and freshmen too. Same thing on offense, and so they're learning, Dewey, and they're a little behind, and it showed here in the first half against a very experienced, senior-laden, and good, solid, fast, fundamentally sound, assignment sound the last couple of weeks, Junction City Blue Jays.
40-0. We have reached halftime. The Blue Jays up big tonight, winning here at home on homecoming night at Al Simpler Stadium. We'll take a break, come back, recap the half right after this.
Andrews & Associates has been serving the Manhattan community with patient-oriented therapy since 1998. And now they're open to serve Junction City with the same high-quality care. Andrews & Associates offers counseling services for individuals of all ages, as well as family, couples, marriage, and pre-marriage counseling. Andrews & Associates welcomes our local military community and accepts TRICARE coverage. Visit them online at andrewsinc.net. Andrews & Associates, now open in Junction City, committed to your hope, growth, and healing.
Waiter, this menu only has one item on it. Let it go.
Haley Erickson, the daughter of Gene Erickson and Kelly Carlson. Her activities include art club and cheerleading. She is escorted by Ilda Guzman, the son of Larry and Mel Galecki. His activities include middle school track and field, the Gay Straight Alliance, and cheerleading. Lou Casey Hammett, the daughter of Roy and Carissa Hammett. Her activities include National Junior Honor Society, J Club, K Club Choir, Freshman Committee, the Student Program, and the Fall Play. She is escorted by Jason Harris, the son of Jermaine and Anna Harris. His activities include National Junior Honor Society, soccer, wrestling, and math club. Sarah Rexroad, the daughter of Tim Rexroad and Natalie Franks. Her activities include National Junior Honor Society, volleyball, basketball, tennis, softball, freshman committee, Blue Jay Nation, and the film student program. She is escorted by Clayton Sandler, the son of Troy and Judy Sandler. His activities include National Junior Honor Society Scholars Bowl Swim, freshman class president, Blue Jay Nation, the student program, and 4-H vice president. Your sophomore candidates are Bethany Brown, the daughter of Michael and Jennifer Brown. Her activities include the dance team, orchestra, choir, and the fall play. She is escorted by Avon Banks, the son of Chris Jackson. His activities include freshman and sophomore class committees and student council. Ava de Guzman, the daughter of Vaughn and Mary de Guzman. Her activities include volleyball, golf, basketball, softball, track, class committees, Blue Jay Nation, and the student program. She is escorted by Logan Mavis, the son of Randy and Lisa Mavis. His activities include football, baseball, wrestling, and FCCLA. Brock Mavis is representing Logan for tonight's ceremony. Emily Vardenau, the daughter of Russell and Melody Vardenau. Her activities include class committee, cheerleading, K-Club, luncheon, and Blue Jay Nation. She is escorted by Timothy Wynn, the son of Nolan Wynn and Tina Pham. His activities include Scholars Bowl, swim, tennis, football, class committees, and the student program. The junior candidates are Karen Xanator. Just walk on by. The daughter of Mies Allen Norway Kansas. Her activities include basketball, track manager, jazz band, inlay club, American Sign Language Club, and class committees. She is escorted by Jason Chopin, the son of Mary and Phil Discipline. His activities include soccer, tennis, JCCs, and multiple friends and
we already asked him, actually 2 job options.
Reagan Fowler.
Good deal. He's got it figured out already. And Thanks.
The daughter of Christopher and Michelle Fowler. Her activities include basketball, junior OTC, color guard, drill team, raider team, and saber team. She is escorted by Mel Gonzalez.
This is a little scary because you start cutting on your shoulder when you're
the son of Jason and Gloria Robinson. His activities include softball and track. Jada Harris.
Which they say is actually worse. Actually, Tommy and John are on that, but they got that one figured out. Labor, like, it's like 50-50, maybe even less than 50-50 that it'll ever come.
She's escorted by the Ryan Sellers. The son of Katrina Timms and Derek Sellers. His activities include FCCLA, orchestra, football, basketball, track, FCLA, FCCLA, leadership team, choir, Danish. Katrina Timms is representing the Warriors for tonight's ceremony. And your senior candidate, Megan Hunt.
I get in trouble at school all the time because I'm always doing this.
And Deanna Hunt. Her activities include volleyball, softball, and FCCLA leadership team. She is escorted by Donovan Bonnet. The son of Donald and Shauna Blay. His activities include FFA, Scholars Bowl track, BITM district, junior OTC drill team, raider team, saber guard, color guard, and battalion commander. Ashley Shea. The daughter of Daniel and Christina Wallace. Her activities include National Honor Society, Scholars Bowl, cross country, swim, tennis, FFA president, junior OTC, raider team, saber team, color guard, and drill team, and executive officer. She is escorted by Marcelo Bussy. The son of Rico Bussy. His activities include football, track, basketball, and FCCLA. Rico Bussy is representing Marcelo for tonight's ceremony. Taylor Strickland. The daughter of Ian and Tanya Strickland. Her activities include volleyball, softball, Blue Jay Nation, and school student. She is escorted by Drew Corey. The son of Dr. Anwar Corey and Mary Corey. His activities include Santa Claus Vice President, football, baseball, class committees, Blue Jay Nation, and the student programs. Dr. Anwar Corey is representing Drew for tonight's ceremony. You're in your 2020 fall homecoming candidate. Carrying this year's royalty is JCHS Student Council Executive Officer Riley Gaynor. Assisting Riley are Elliot Intrick and Kate McCollum. Elliot Intrick is the daughter of Brad and Heather Intrick. Elliot is a fourth grader at Lincoln University. Kate McCollum is the son of Jeremy and Kelly McCollum. Kate is also a fourth grader at Lincoln University. Now the movie they're waiting for. The freshman prince is Jason Harris. And the freshman princess is Sarah Lex Rose.
Standing beside the guy in the blue.
The sophomore prince is Logan Neighbor.
That's good. He's a lineman.
The sophomore princess is Emily Varnaday. The junior prince is Demarion Sellers. And the junior princess is Jada Harris.
It's kind of funny, they switch sides. The guys are on the far right, but the winners are all on our left.
The 2020 Fall Homecoming King is
Drew
Corey. And the 2020 Fall Homecoming Queen is Taylor Strickland. Let's give a round of applause to all the homecoming candidates. The Junction City High School Student Council would like to thank everyone who has assisted homecoming activities this week. Thank you for supporting Blue Jay Nation. Go Blue Jays!
You better time it right. Don't worry about it.
I've never seen him in this for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's halftime performance presented by the Junction City High School Blue Jay Marching Band. The band is conducted this evening by drum major Gordon Jenkins, Lauren Chen, and Kim Parker. We start our performance with the J Stepper Dance Team. The dance team is under the direction of Miss Danny Ziegler. They are led onto the field by officers Amy Butler, Kaylee Wind, Amy Volker, Shane Volker, Emily Wolf, Daphne Brown, and Madison Franks. And now the J Steppers perform to the 1999 Santana hit, Smooth.
song for the party song selected by the band students. The Williams 2013 Get Happy, featuring the Blue Jay Marching Band flag line. They are assisted by Junction City Middle School battle directors, Jared Richard, and Kristen Stone. The flag line instructor.
A sophomore doing a really nice job, and so you like what you see defensively. This Blue Jay defense is getting better. Yes, the last 2 weeks they've played teams that are behind because of the 3 weeks off that they had of COVID, but still, you're seeing this Blue Jay football team hit its stride, and it's at the right time, because next week against Emporia, I guarantee you it's not going to be like this.
That'll be a good football game next Friday night. Let's run down now the fall royalty here for homecoming tonight. They did hold the ceremony while I was visiting with Melissa Sharp. In the freshman class, the Princess, Sarah Rexroad, and for the King, or for the Prince, Jason Harris. Again, Jason Harris, Sarah Rexroad for the freshman class. In the sophomores, Emily Bernardo is the Princess, Logan Nabus is the Prince. In the junior class, the Prince is Demarion Sellers, the Princess, Jada Harris. And your 2020 homecoming king and queen, they're always selected from the senior class. The queen this year, Taylor Strickland, and the king, the Blue Jay quarterback, Andrew Corey, represented during the ceremony by his dad, Dr. Anwar Corey. And congratulations to all those people. That's a neat honor when you're in high school.
It is, and it's such a neat thing when you talk about the spirit of homecoming, and unfortunately, let's talk about the fact that, you've got your king and queen, your coronation, and the honor, and all that stuff that goes with it. But what's really unfortunate about homecoming this year, Dewey, and it really is unfortunate, is this is the last homecoming at Al Simpler Stadium, and the alumni could not come back to the game, which is unfortunate. They can't get in. I mean, that's the problem, is that, I saw some people out there. I think I saw Donnie Ballard out there, and Chris Schrader's here with the fire department. He's down there, and so he's here watching. He works for the fire department, and he was on that state champion, or that state runner-up team, that we lost the championship in '86. Chris Schrader was on that team. Just some other people that you can see, alumni out here. Keenan Pierre was here a little bit ago. Bobby Corey, Andrew's brother, is here tonight, and so you're seeing several people. Judy Sanner is here, I believe, and just looking around to see who I'm seeing. And so anyway, there's Creighton Sanner, of course, is their son, and he was up for freshman Prince, and of course they had two more boys here that graduated from Junction City High School, and that is Caden Sanner and Corbin Sanner. And so Corbin was a center on the football team here, but there's a lot of people. I think that Gary Heller maybe I see down there, but there's some people that I see here that are alumni, and it's nice that they got to come back. Vaughn de Guzman, Jay Lindsley, Mitch Whaley's down there. I can see Mitch. He was on that '86 state runner-up team, and so there are some alumni that got to come, but it's unfortunate that it couldn't have been what it could have been, and that's to send this stadium off with the last homecoming like it deserves, because there's such a tradition and history here. And I was part of the board when we talked about the new high school, and I think it's going to be a great thing. But, that was something that I was, kind of traditionally and in my mind a little sentimental about, was this football stadium and how this was going to work out. And as we get a little further, thinking that next week, will be the last regular season game in this stadium, it kind of hits you as a guy that played here, but also, now I'm getting to watch my son play on this field, and I've been coming to these games since 1976. My mom worked here at the high school, and so I've been coming to these games. She was bringing them to me since 1976. I think of all the games that I've watched in this stadium, and so there's some sentimentality, and it kind of starts to hit you. And I was sitting there at work the other night and kind of getting ready for the game, and before I left, and last week, and thinking, gosh, we've only got 2 more regular season games in that stadium.
I got to ask one thing. You're not going to cry, are you?
Oh, no
crying in football.
No, but it is. It's and this stadium means a lot, and that was one of the things that was interesting when we were first talking about the Say Yes campaign and everything that went with the new high school and the voting and all that. That was the one thing most people talked about. It wasn't necessarily a new high school. There was some political arguments about that, but as far as the sentimentality, this stadium was what people talked about the most.
Next stadium, we've seen the photos of the new stadium. We'll have to get out there and test out all the equipment.
It is going to be nice, Dewey. We need to go do that, but it is going to be really, really nice. They've done a nice job. Troy Hartle with Schaefer Johnson's done a really nice job designing that, and Matt Westerhouse has been heavily involved too.
We're getting set to start the third quarter. The Blue Jays will be kicking off, leading 40-0. They're going east to west, right to left. Hayden Field head towards the football. It's teed up. And there's the kickoff going down to about the 22-yard line. Topeka High trying to turn it, and they're not going to get much. Back to the 26-yard line, a 4-yard run back that time for the Trojans. Jalen Smith, he's a 6'2 senior. 1st and 10, Topeka High.
Nate Harge got down there in a hurry for the Blue Jays, and so did number 13, Randall Banks Jr. So, hey, dude, real quick, just some halftime stats. So the Blue Jays had 200 and how many yards was it in the first half, and held Topeka High to just 32, was it, yards? 32 yards total offense for Topeka High. That's pretty impressive. Blue Jays had 145 yards rushing, 144 yards passing for a total of 289. So very balanced in the first half, the Blue Jay offense.
1st and 10 Trojans running the football, trying to find a seam, and they don't get anywhere. The runner back push back behind the 25-yard line. Carrying the football was Tylen Alejos, and it will go 2nd down. They'll call it a 2-yard loss back to the 24-yard line. 2nd down, 12.
Topeka High had no first downs. The Blue Jays had 14. Oh, they did just have one, excuse me. But 36 yards passing, -4 rushing for a total of 32 yards in the first half for Topeka High.
When you do that, Jackson's going back and forth, head left and right. What do we got going on here? Jackson Snyder's keeping statistics in our booth.
He does
tonight.
a great job. I was just going to say after we got through a ball.
Here's another running play for the Trojans.
Oh, wow.
And they get back to the line of scrimmage. May have picked up one. Again, Alejos took a really hard hit, but he's been beaten up a little bit tonight.
He has, but he's a good, tough runner and a returning senior. Anyway, he's adding some more stats. It's nice to have Jackson with us. We haven't had a statistician for a while. Of course, he's also a radio guy and works for the radio station for KJCK. So they had three first downs in the first half. Excuse me, but what's interesting, they were 1 for 8 Topeka High in the first half on 3rd down and 1 of 2 on 4th down. So the Blue Jay defense played very, very well.
3rd down, 11 for the Trojans. They snap it back to Canada. Stays in the pocket. Left side picked off by the Blue Jays, heading back toward the end zone. Down the sideline for a touchdown. Randall Banks Jr. and the Blue Jays up the lead to 46-0.
And he had the tackle on special teams a little bit ago, too, was the first guy down there. And right there comes up with a big interception from his nickel linebacker spot for the Blue Jays. And so Randall Banks Jr., just a junior, another guy that will be back next year for the Blue Jays, gets the pick 6.
Blue Jays take the interception back into the end zone. I think that's the first interception return for touchdown, isn't it, this year?
I believe so, because the Blue Jays have not had any returns for touchdowns, either punts or kicks or defensively, and that's the first defensive touchdown, I believe, for the Blue Jays this year, too.
46-0 Blue Jays, 10:31 to go in the third quarter. Aiden Field on to kick the extra point. Trey Goggins will hold. There's a snap, a little low, but they get it down. Kick is on the way, and it's perfect. We'll take a 30-second break right here. We'll be back right after this.
Andrews & Associates has been serving the Manhattan community with patient-oriented therapy since 1998. And now they're open to serve Junction City with the same high-quality care. Andrews & Associates offers counseling services for individuals of all ages, as well as family, couples, marriage, and pre-marriage counseling. Andrews & Associates welcomes our local military community and accepts TRICARE coverage. Visit them online at andrewsinc.net. Andrews & Associates, now open in Junction City, committed to your hope, growth, and healing.
And we're back at Al Simpler Stadium, where the Blue Jays have expanded the lead to 47-0. Field getting set to kick off for the Blue Jays. Public address system blaring in the background. They have the best PA system here anywhere in the league.
It is really, really good. Really good. Again, I laugh because Aiden talks about when he's getting ready to kick, he has to hear all that noise. It's funny.
Doesn't like the music. There's a squib kick down the field. Caught at the 23-yard line by the Trojans. Now they begin the run back. They get back to the 31. An 8-yard return that time for the Topeka High Trojans. Bringing the football back was Zenlin Fulton, I believe. No, it was corrected Jalen Smith.
So Don Quay Williams, a sophomore defensive back, went in there and made the tackle on that play. So Don Quay, he's a good kid. I know him pretty well. Anyway, last week on Monday, I should say this week on Monday, he had an interception and then also had an offensive touchdown in that JV game. And so he had a really nice game, and he gets in there tonight and makes a nice play for the Blue Jays right there on the kickoff.
Quavon Gilmore now checks in at linebacker for the Blue Jays. We talked about him quite a bit last week. Pretty good running back, blocker as well for Junction City. New kid in the program this year. Here comes the play on from the side for the Topeka High Trojans. Carlos Kelly sends out his quarterback, B.J. Canada. Put 4 in the backfield. They're going to run it left tackle. Diego's got the football, and they're going to stop him for a loss back at the 29. It's a 1-yard loss. On the ball carry, Diego Carr for the Trojans.
So Quavion in there playing some linebacker. He's played some fullback on JV, also can play some quarterback, some running back, and so he's in there playing linebacker right now for the Blue Jays.
Second down coming up for Topeka High. Next Friday night, pretty good ball game coming to Al Simpler Stadium. The Emporia Spartans here to play the Blue Jays. Our broadcast time will be 6:30. Emporia has defeated Junction City 3 years in a row. That could be a fun game next week. Here we go again, rushing play. And they're going to get, maybe 3 back to the 31. Pushing the pile a little bit. Alejos.
Flag.
And flag on the play. Multiple whistles from the officials.
Well, I'm not sure if they just bumped into each other. That was kind of an awkward exchange right there between Gilmore and the umpire. The umpire standing, he's the guy that stands with the linebackers on the opposite side behind the defensive line, opposite of the offense, and he and Gilmore were kind of holding on to each other right there for a second. And anyway, but we'll see what that was. Did they pick up the flag? Nope.
15-yard penalty.
Personal foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty.
Well, I don't think they were holding Quavion back. I don't think it was anything that Gilmore had done, but I guess we'll see there. I'm not sure who the penalty was on, but you're right, Dewey. It was a big one.
15 yards. Trojans get a first down at the 45. Coach Zimmerman just kind of looking out at his defense, holding his hands up in the air. He's saying, why are we doing that?
Yeah, well, so I want to mention, because we always talk about how the Blue Jays two platoon. They have a defense and they have an offense. 11 different guys on offense, 11 different guys on defense. They don't play both ways most of the time. But one of the things I've noticed on JV and also noticing tonight, they've got some guys playing some different positions. Demarion Sellers is in there playing corner right now. Quavion Gilmore's playing linebacker right now. You're seeing some different guys in there that are playing a little bit both ways. But I'm going to mention some more players in the game right now here in a minute.
First down, rushing play, coming off around the right end. And it's going to be a short gain up to the 49. They're going to go for 4. Again, Alejos carrying the football, coming left to right out of the backfield, lined up at a halfback spot. Now to be second down 6.
So this is the starting JV defense that's out there right now, and have watched them play very well. In fact, they played really good against Topeka West Monday night. I went and watched that game, and you've got a few different guys. Atriel Baker, he's a sophomore playing safety. You've also in there you've got Justin Welch. He's playing the other safety position, and he's a junior. And also on the baseball team. And so we'll go through some more guys here in a minute.
Running play up the middle, and they're going to push the pile a little bit. Inside the 45, Diego Carr still struggling into the secondary. That's just a powerhouse run by him down to the Blue Jay 35.
Yeah, good run, and looks like a Blue Jay player might be down. I think the running back fell on him. Hopefully he just knocked the wind out of him. And
it's a big running back.
He's a big kid, and he's their power back. I think it's Corey O'Connor that's down right now, so hopefully he's okay. But also for the Blue Jays right now, in there at nose guard, you've got Matthew Bartolome. He's a defensive lineman. You've got Diego Eisen. He's in there right now. Diego Figueroa Eisen, he's a junior. He's playing defensive end. And, of course, Randall Banks, who had the pick 6 a little bit ago. And I think Don Quay is in there right now. We talked about him a couple of minutes ago. And so some different guys in there for the Blue Jays right now getting some time, and it's important for them to get some varsity time. And these guys are doing a good job on JV and probably running some scout stuff. And so right now you're going to see them get an opportunity to get some good varsity time.
Well, the whole team's out there tending to the injured Blue Jay. Hopefully he's okay. Tomorrow we've got Kansas State football against TCU. 1 o'clock is pregame. 3 o'clock is kickoff. That K-State's team starting to impress some people.
You know what? The line was much better last week. The Howard kid, the freshman, came in and did a good job at quarterback. Skyler, we'll see if Skyler will go. Last word is he could play tomorrow. We'll see, Dewey, unless you heard more today, because you've got your ear to the ground a lot better, than a lot of us do being in the news. And so it sounds like Coach Kleiman said he could play tomorrow, but if not, they're pretty high on Howard. And I like what I saw out of Howard last week. Of course, we talk about Deuce and all the things he's done.
The Deuce is loose.
He is, man. It's an exciting team to watch, and a lot of freshmen and young guys doing a good job for Coach Kleiman over there at K-State. And, of course, as a K-State alumni, or a K-State alum, I love my K-State football. And so I'm ready to vote for tomorrow.
Justin Welch is the injured player coming off on his own power, hobbling with his right leg, ankle. Must have got rolled up on, but he's okay. He's coming toward the sideline.
He's a tough kid.
My favorite football saying of the year. The Deuce is loose.
There you go. Justin's a really good pitcher, by the way. He had a great summer for us on the Blues this summer and pitched very, very well. So a talented kid and getting some varsity time. Looks like he's going to be okay.
We'll see what K-State does tomorrow. Will Howard, the quarterback you talked about, looked pretty good to me. Just a true freshman.
Yeah, his first series was rough, and then he got in the rhythm.
1st and 10, Trojans. Quarterback rolling left, passes out in the flat, completes it at the Blue Jay 27. They're going down the sideline toward the end zone, and Topeka High has a touchdown. 34-yard play. They threw the ball about 7 yards to the far side of the field, and then took it right into the end zone to make it 47 7-6. And Topeka High at least gets on the board tonight.
Yeah, and it looks like, was that Will Hebner, a senior wide receiver?
That's right.
He did a nice job right there, just taking off down the sideline. They got the ball out to him in open space, and he just took off and used his speed. And Dewey, he's fast. He
6:21 to go in the third quarter. Topeka High gets their first score of the night. They'll try to kick the extra point. Haven't had much practice for a while. There's the snap. It's down. The Blue Jays rush hard. That kick is perfect that time for the Topeka High Trojans. So they knock it down and makes it 47-7. Junction City will get the ball back.
Well, and that's just a well-executed play by Topeka High, and Blue Jay defense right there. You could just see how much faster that kid was. The Blue Jay starting secondary not in there, and he was very, very quick getting down the field and did a nice job. Hebner did running with the football after the catch.
So the Junction City Blue Jays get set to receive the kickoff. T.J. Jones will be back, and Demarion Sellers for Junction City to return. Kind of their blocking back up in front of them will be Xavion Felton.
I want to point out, too, because Xavion, Dewey, you got him and Gilmore as the upbacks. Let's see if they kick it, because Xavion in these JV games, we know he's a good linebacker, but he's an offensive player by trade. He's mostly played running back and quarterback. He has done a great job. He and TJ Jones for the JV as running backs, and it'd be exciting to see Xavion get to run with the football right here.
Xavion might be a future Blue Jay quarterback starting.
He could be. Sounds like Boganowski played a little bit of practice. You've got different guys, trying to figure out. We've got Roel, of course, and so you've got some different guys that can play quarterback, and Xavion maybe after Roel next year. We'll see what happens, but David Roel is the second-string quarterback.
Here we go. Topeka High kicking off to Junction City. Tay Thomas handling the kick, squibs it down the field, it rolls, bounces up once, now it's caught, and the Blue Jays fall on it. Looked like Javon over there.
I guess Trey Goggins.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
He did the right thing, though. So it hopped, and he was going to try and grab it, and so when he tried to grab it, he couldn't quite secure it because it bounced. That was a squib kick, and so since he didn't grab it, and he's a wide receiver, so he's got good hands, he didn't feel comfortable with the handle that he had, so he just grabbed the football and fell to the ground. Make sure he didn't fumble. That's a smart play by a senior, and he's also the holder, Dewey, and I wanted to mention, I'm glad we talked about this, on that last snap on that extra point, it was a little low and to the outside, and Trey is so good at getting the ball where it needs to be after he catches it. He's become a very good holder on these extra points.
Here we go, 1st and 10, Junction City from their 32-yard line. Andrews still in at quarterback, throws it far right side on the wing, and the pass is caught for a gain up to the 39. That was a diving catch that time by Goggins for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and he got a couple catches last week. In fact, I told you I was talking to him at practice last week. He said, gosh, I wish I could get the ball thrown to me a little more. Well, everybody keying on Marcelo. He and Russell and Nate are getting a lot more opportunities to catch the football.
Marcelo Bussey spreads wide right. They're going to roll left on the pass play. They're going to dump it in the flat to Russell at the 48. Down the sideline and knocked out of bounds inside Topeka territory at the Trojans' 46-yard line.
What fascinates me, and it was the same thing against Washburn Rural, it's just a coverage thing. It's the coverage that these teams decide to play. Russell either will go across the field or underneath, but that's an underneath route right there under the streaks. They've been running it the last 3 weeks, and nobody's covering Russell. It's fascinating that that's as wide open as it is.
Blue Jays go fast. They pass it up the field to the 37, to the 35-yard line. Sidney Walker caught that ball. Picked up a couple of extra yards, another first down for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, Sidney had a catch or two last week, too, and he's another senior wide receiver. A lot of guys that can catch the football for Andrew this year, and, of course, that's helped him so much. Of course, Andrew, a good quarterback, but it's helped so much to have this many guys that you can throw the football to.
Here we go, first down, Junction City, inside the 35-yard line of the Topeka High Trojans. DJ Giddens in the backfield. Snap to Andrew. Throws it over the middle. Slant pattern inside. Russell's got it. Spins out of one tackle inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. An 11-yard pickup.
Yeah, nice play right there. Just a little quick slant, and I like to see that slant get back in there because not only is Andrew very good at taking that quick drop and releasing the football, but you can get Russell the ball, and if nobody's there, he's just got such good speed and vision, and he runs the ball a lot too as a running back, so you get him in the open field there, and he can really make something happen.
Here we go, 1st and 10, Junction City. Corey to pass, fakes left, rolls right out of the pocket, dumps it down the sideline, and a diving catch and a reception for the Blue Jays Down at the 16-yard line for Junction City.
I believe is that Trey again?
Trey Goggins.
Great catch. Here's what I love about that right there. He saw his quarterback was in trouble, so he cut his route short and came back to the football. And as he was throwing, Andrew threw it because there was a defender there only where Trey could catch it. He caught it, had the presence of mind to keep both feet in bounds before he went out of bounds, falling, catching the football. That was a great catch by Trey Goggins.
2nd down 8 for the Blue Jays, just shy of the 15-yard line. Coach Zimmerman seeing his team ahead 47-7, late third quarter here at Al Simpler Stadium tonight. Snap to Andrew, throws it up right flat again, caught by Goggins, turns upfield, kind of slipped on the turf a little bit, and they make the tackle at the 7-yard line of the Trojans.
I love to see Trey get to catch football right there because he's earned it. Senior receiver and played some last year too, but he's done such a nice job. What I love about him is the way that he blocks. He's a key blocker downfield, and now he's getting a chance to catch the football. And we talked about him being the holder on the extra point and field goal team. So he does a very nice job for this Blue Jay team as a senior.
Demarion Sellers comes in. They're trying to figure out where to line him up on the offense. A little confusion for the Blue Jays. Russell Wilkie comes wide left on the near side. Goggins on the far side. They put Seller in the slot. Now bring him in motion right to left. Snap to Corey. Rolls left, looking to throw. Under some heavy pressure. Throws down close to the end zone. It's caught inside the 6-yard line at about the 5 by Demarion Sellers.
That was an outstanding pass because he was rolling to his left, and there was a crossing route there by Sellers, and he had a guy right behind him, and Andrew threw it to where only Demarion could catch it, and that's what he did. And it was an outstanding catch, too, with a guy right there on his back, and he secured the football very, very well because he knew he was going to get hit as soon as he caught it, and he drug him out of bounds. So great play by the Blue Jays right there.
2nd down goal for the Blue Jays. They're inside the 5-yard line of Topeka High. Andrew's gone the entire ball game from the pistol or the shotgun set. There's the set. Hands off, running play. Up the middle, and they're going to be short. T.J. Jones carried the ball down to the 2. He's kind of little, but he's really quick.
Oh, my gosh. Like I know I've compared him to JoJo a lot, but that's just because of their size and their heart and the way they run. But what I love about T.J. is he's so tough. Just 5'3", 135 pounds, a sophomore. But he's so tough, and watching him take hits on the sideline and the things I've watched him do in JV, and he's done the same thing in varsity. In fact, he was playing JV the other night, and he took a pretty good hit, and one of the moms hollered at the line to block better because we needed T.J. on Friday night. So anyway, it's always fun to hear those comments. But anyway, TJ is a tough kid, and he's got a bright future here for Blue Jay football.
3rd down goal. They hand the ball off to TJ. Touchdown. He lunges over the goal line, and Junction City scores 6 more points to make it 53-7, 49 seconds left in the third quarter. We're going to break right here for 30 seconds. We'll be back right after this.
The Selective Service System presents ways to keep guys out of trouble in 2 minutes or less.
The pictures of your girlfriend making the just about to sneeze face you were gonna post online as a joke? Probably should delete them.
Another way to keep yourself out of trouble in 2 minutes or less.
Register with the Selective Service System. It's the law for men turning 18. Not registering could mean not getting your driver's license in most states.
Register with Selective Service at sss.gov.
54-7, Junction City on top over the Topeka High Trojans. Aiden Field connected on the extra point. And now the Blue Jays get set to kick off. And this third quarter, Brian's gone by really fast.
Yeah, they're going to have to kick that one again, Dewey, because the Blue Jays, it looked like a motion penalty against Blue Jays.
Yep.
9 plays, 67 yards, 9 minutes, 46 seconds, you said, and 526, sorry. And Andrew was 7 for 7 on that drive throwing the football, so great, impressive drive by the Blue Jays. And Aiden's going to have to kick this again from a few yards back now, 5 yards further.
Trey Goggins to hold. He'll be kicking from the 15-yard line. 25-yard attempt on the PAT. There's the kick. Kick is up.
Blocked.
And it's good.
Oh, good.
It bounced over the crossbar and bounced back.
Yeah, that counts. It works.
Not the smoothest, but they'll take it. You're right. It works. Junction City expands the lead to 54-7. Aiden had to kick that one twice. You ought to get extra credit.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the first one was through there pretty convincingly. But that time, yeah, that was a little bit, just a little. And he can easily go another 10 yards. He can get. He's good out to probably about a 35-yarder. But 30 is better within his range, and right there, 27 to 25, you can see is and that's depending on how the kick is. But anyway, Blue Jays on that drive, my goodness, and you're starting to see, and that'll probably be the last drive for the varsity in this game, and you'll let your JV come out, your JV offense come out. But nice job that time by the Blue Jays, and they just keep the gas, the gas on their foot on the gas, and doing a nice job.
Here we go, Junction City getting set to kick off. Looks like we got a new kicker in the ball game for the Blue Jays, Danny Gordon. He sends it down, rolls it down the field, and it rolled out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And, of course, will draw a penalty flag, very small penalty, and that one didn't go the way they wanted. You can tell Coach is a little frustrated on the sideline.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a squib again, and yeah.
Well, it was a curve squib, Brian. That's what that was.
Well, and he did that in the JV game. So he and Aiden take turns kicking in the JV games, and he did that the other night, but it stopped right at about the 35. Well, Topeka West didn't even jump on it. They just kind of looked at it for a second, so the Blue Jays went down and jumped on it. So that's one of the reasons why you kind of do some of those things.
Talking with the Topeka coach, yeah, I think so. Now we'll see what they do this time. Running on the field just now,
so
Keon Taylor.
So this could be
They're
Highland
Park. Put the
Park.
Ball down to 35.
Sorry, Dewey, I don't mean to. Highland Park is ahead 33-16, 38-18 over Topeka West at halftime. It could be Highland Park's first win in 6 years.
Wow, that's a record right there.
That is. That's it. That's Jackson was just showing me that on his phone. So, yeah, that's big. That's huge. 38-18. Hey, I hope they get it, man. That coach has worked so hard. He has such good faith in these kids. We talked about it when they only brought, 18 kids here for the game last year. And, it does. It's you feel for those kids. And so, boy, I really hope they hold on to get that win.
Here we go, Trojans, 1st and 10. They put the ball at the Topeka High 35. The Blue Jays walked up field and thought they'd have to kick it over. They don't. Topeka High takes the field position. They get a run from B.J. Kennedy out to the 37, a 2-yard rush for the big freshman quarterback. In fact, in that 6-year period, Highland Park, I believe, has gone through 3 head coaches.
Yeah, they have, and the one they have now, I sure do have a lot of respect for him. Randall Banks made a great open field tackle, and that's how you tackle a big old 230-pound quarterback, 6'5". Randall Banks, 5'9", 140. You wrap him up, grab him by the legs, and take those legs out from underneath him. Don't let him go anywhere, and just hold on for dear life. Great open field tackle by Randall Banks.
2nd down 7 coming up for the Topeka High Trojans. 54-7, Blue Jays lead early 4th quarter. Handoff, a bad handoff in the backfield, but they're going to get something out of a broken play. Breaking deep into the secondary for a 1st down rush, Tylen Alejos. He's pretty shifty, really.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, when you kind of watch the way that line blocked, he read that so well. Not quite sure how those guards got as far as they did downfield, but it was almost kind of like he had to weave back and forth between the offensive linemen to get to where he needed to. And so nice job right there. And really, so far, the Topeka High, you feel bad because they're 3 weeks behind. They didn't get to play games for the first weeks, but they're playing very hard. They lose a lot of those guys. New coach, they're going to play hard for that coach, and you can see them learning tonight.
We'll be back after we take this 60-second timeout.
When you can't attend the Gridiron Games this fall, bring the tailgate home with Munson's Prime's Grill and Go Catering. Get that great Munson's Prime taste, freshly made right at home with ready-to-grill, 8-ounce premium Angus beef patties, a full selection of sides, and Munson's home-churned ice cream. Pick up from the store or have it delivered. Don't have a grill? Munson's Prime can provide those too. Not sure about your grilling skills? Bring in Munson's professional grill champions. Bring the tailgate home with Munson's Prime. 785-238-1135.
Offices function better with office supplies. The pen you're writing with? Office Supply. The desk calendar your elbows on? Office Supply. The file folders on your desk and the sticky notes on them? Office Supplies. You get the idea. Now, where do you get supplies? Key Office Products in Salina and Junction City bring office supplies to you. Purchase online, then have Key Office deliver. Small and bulk orders, office furniture and copiers. Shop local, shop Key Office at keyofficeproducts.com.
The Blue Jays play here, 107.9 FM and 1420 KJCK.
54-7. Topeka High trailing Junction City, running the ball on first down. They pick up 8 to the Blue Jay 37-yard line. We're sweeping through the fourth quarter here this evening at Al Simpler Stadium. Trojans have looked better in the second half, however, playing against some second-team guys from the Junction City Blue Jays. Here we go, second down. B.J. Candidate, the freshman quarterback, jumps up on the snap, hands off in the backfield, and dropped for a loss. Alejos for about a 3-yard loss back to the 40. Boy, he was hit and met hard as soon as he touched the football. Jose Padilla was in the backfield. He'll now be 3rd down and 6 coming up. I want to congratulate, of course, the royalty tonight. Andrew Corey and Taylor Strickland are the king and queen, respectively, for 2020 homecoming at Junction City High School. One receiver comes wide left for the Trojans. On the near side, Elijah Williams. They hand off in the backfield. Diego's got the football. He's going to rumble down to the 37, going off right tackle. Diego Carr, and it will be a 3-yard gain. Now 4th down coming up for Topeka High.
I think I'm reading this right. I may have to go try and find a different source here, but I'm starting to get some scores, and it looks like I don't know how that would be a final already, but hell, it could be 59-3. Seaman beat Emporia. Wow. That shocks me.
Didn't expect that.
No.
Keep your eye on Washburn Rural Manhattan. They're playing tonight. 4th down, long 3.
I had a score here, but it was at 17-10, but I'm not sure.
There's a snap to B.J. Candidate running Alejos around the right end. First down rush down the sideline, and they push him out of bounds inside the 25 at the 22. Washburn Rural had to rally late last week to beat Emporia in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Matt's clarifying some scores for us here. So Manhattan's up 14-10 over Rural with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Seaman, 59-3? I guess it says under a minute left in the third quarter, but still, I guess it's not a final. But the tweet I got was a final. But either way, 59-3.
What happened there?
Wow, I have no idea.
Seaman's really good this year.
They are, but us and Emporia were kind of looked at as maybe the favorites to win the Centennial League, and now you got to put Seaman back in there. So
they're one game behind the Blue Jays. Junction City beat them. Here's the snap to B.J. Candidate, dumps it up in the flat left, almost picked off by Junction City. The pass knocked down. The Blue Jays just about had another interception for Randall Banks. He had one earlier.
Pick 6 and almost got his second one. Been pretty impressed with him.
Well, now Javon George has got to come back and get a couple because that's what he does.
Manhattan's now up 24-10 over Washburn Rural. 6:42 left in the fourth.
They'll probably hang on there, I would think. Junction City beat both those teams this year. Blue Jays get Emporia here next Friday night. Might get an angry Emporia team.
They're not going to be happy, let me tell you.
All right, 2nd down 10 coming up for Topeka High. Candidate, Alejos gets the handoff, rushes up the middle through the defense. 1st down rush inside the 10, down to the 7. Now to be 1st and goal for the Trojans. They're moving back toward the goal line again. Too late for them to mount a 47-point comeback, but they're putting up some fight here in the second half.
Well, and they're going to do that, and they're still learning, and you've got some young Blue Jays out there. And I'll tell you what, though, Dewey, it's unfortunate. By the time this kid's a senior, we're not going to be in the Centennial League with Topeka High possibly. Because
that's good,
I'd love
I think,
to.
maybe right now.
Well,
I'd play quarterback's going to keep it off the right end. Cuts toward the end zone, trying to power his way in, and he comes up short inside the 1 at the goal line. He faked the handoff in the backfield, went right out of the backfield, cut to the end zone, and Junction City made the tackle just in time.
Yeah, they did. In fact, it was a good defensive play right there. One of the guys in on the tackle for the Blue Jays was number 48, Matthew Bartolome. He's a senior. You know, I'd love to watch this kid play as a senior because he is just going to get better. This kid, he's got a big frame, a good arm, and you can tell he's learning. He's learning out there. The game's moving a little quick for him, but he's catching up quickly.
There's the snap coming to B.J. Candidate. He's going to run it himself, and he's got a touchdown. He was just too big to tackle this time at the line of scrimmage, and he scores the touchdown on a 1-yard run with 7:22 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just a quarterback power right there. I want to mention again, though, I'm so impressed with Jeff Moore, the senior center, 6 foot 255. He has one of the quickest shotgun snaps I've seen out of a high school center. It's flat, good. It's right where it should be. Gets there quickly, and he does a nice job snapping the football, and he blocks very well after the snap. He's a good center for Topeka High.
Comes the PAT try for the Trojans. Waiting on the snap. Been a fast second half tonight. And we get whistles before they can snap the ball. Some high school teams and programs just struggle kicking a period. We'll have to sort this one out. Hear from Coach Zimmerman in postgame tonight.
5-yard penalty, offsides.
Offsides on the defense, a 5-yard penalty.
So they're going to move it up.
Looks like they're going to decline it.
Yeah.
And they're going to kick again from the 10-yard line. Now they turn and look over at their sideline. They're not quite sure what they want to do here. Yep, they're going to take the penalty, move the kicker up about 2 yards, be kicking from about the 8-yard line. Half the distance to the goal. There's the snap. It's low. They don't get it away, and it's blocked. They weren't set at all to execute on that play, and the Blue Jays stop it. We'll take a break here. Come back to Simpler Stadium right after this.
If you're anything like me, you don't like mowing your own lawn. Well, I found out that Town & Country Mowing and Landscaping loves client satisfaction. See, they're big enough to provide service to large campuses, yet small enough to ensure personal attention. They specialize in mowing, trimming, edging, tree trimming, trimming shrubs, and weed control. Finally, a company that's more particular about your lawn than you are. Experience the difference working with Town & Country Mowing and Landscaping. Give them a call, 785-579-6275. For all your outdoor needs, from seeds to weeds, they do it all.
Now the Blue Jays lead tonight's football game 54-13, 7:22 remaining here at Al Simpler Stadium, and Junction City gets set to receive a kickoff for just the third time in tonight's ball game. TJ Jones will be one going back deep, and Demarion Sellers for Junction City. Trojans set to kick from their 40-yard line, moving east to west, right to left. Coming up tomorrow, Kansas State football against TCU. 1 o'clock is pregame. 3 o'clock is the kickoff from Fort Worth for K-State. 2-1 on the year going in, coming off the win last week. And TCU defeated the Texas Longhorns last week.
Well, and interestingly enough, Arkansas State got thumped last week when I was looking through the scores. I don't remember who it was that beat them, but North Carolina. Coastal. That's right. It was Coastal Carolina thumped Arkansas State.
They also beat KU and Lawrence.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's a good football team, that Coastal team. But that just shocked me that Arkansas State got smoked the way they did after beating K-State.
Here's the kickoff coming from the Trojans. They squib it down the field. Blue Jays touch it, and they do fall on it at the 32-yard line. Trey Goggins actually touched the football trying to catch it. Then Junction City got on top of it. Falling on the ball was Xavier Felton. And the Blue Jays start out fairly decent field position here at their 32.
It's first and 10, Blue
Chance for the younger guys, see what they can do on offense. Junction City brings some of the reserves coming out.
Yep, Logan Lindsley he's seen some varsity time at center, but he's going to play center. And then let's see here. There's some other guys.
Looks like David Rowell is going to be out there.
Torrey Lindsey's a sophomore. He's 6'1", 239. He's a good-sized kid for the Blue Jays. He's going to play that right tackle position.
David Rowell's in at quarterback. Andrew Corey done for the night. Rowell takes the snap, rolls left, now pitches out on the far side. They go around the end at the 35, the 40. The pitch was taken by Trent Crumpton, I think. Yes. And I haven't seen him too much. Of course, I'm not at all the younger games.
Yeah, he started running the ball some in that JV game the other night. Usually you see TJ Jones and Xavier Felton back there, but that time they ran it with a receiver. Logan Davis is going to stay in and play that right guard position.
They're going to put 3 receivers wide right on the near side. TJ's in the slot. He's the guy who plays quite a bit on the varsity. Burwell waiting on the snap. Rolls left. Now keeps it. Pitches late, but it's caught on the far side. And Junction City does get the first down. They rush it up near the 45-yard line. That was kind of a dangerous pitch.
Well, it was a gutsy pitch, but he got it to Xavier, who was able to get the first down. And Xavier, I just watching him run the football, he's just so natural. And, it'd be interesting to see what happens with him, which side of the football he ends up playing on next year.
First and 10 Blue Jays, their 45-yard line, left hash on the far side.
Looking to see who the left side of that offensive line is.
Long signal count, one in motion to the near side. They're going to jet sweep around the near side end, across the 45 to the 50, into Trojan territory at the 49-yard line. On the ball carry that time, Elijah Byers, 5'7" sophomore.
Rodney Coleman is playing was it the guard spot he's playing on the left side? I believe so. And then looking to see who that left tackle is.
Also in that offensive backfield now, Quavon Gilmore, the fullback.
Andrew Strickland's playing that left tackle position right now for the Blue Jays.
Penalty on the Blue Jays is coming back. So we'll see how far they take it. Junction City had achieved a first down before the last play. Now they get a 5-yard penalty back to the 40-yard line.
It's 1st and 15 Blue Jays from the 40-yard line.
Now the offense sets. There are 4 receivers on the near side of the field. Coach Randall Zimmerman out talking with the official, and the clock stopped right now at 4:27 to go in the ball game.
Gilmore had to come hand something over. It was a piece of equipment or something that they wanted him to take off. Maybe it was a different mouth. Maybe he had to switch out mouthpieces. It looked like a mouthpiece maybe.
Finally to get everybody set, and David Roel gets to go at quarterback from the shotgun. Gilmore flanks him to his right. Starters are out of the ball game now. 54-13, Blue Jays lead, and another whistle before they can get the next play off. Illegal procedure on Junction City.
Procedure on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Another 5-yard penalty.
Well, they're a little excited getting some varsity action right here because the other night, and that was something I wanted to point out the last several weeks, the one thing the Blue Jays have been very, very good at doing, so they're +5 now in takeaways, it looks like. After tonight, coming in, they were +4. They got the interception tonight, so they're +5 in turnovers, in the turnover margin. And one of the things, they have not committed a lot of penalties this year.
Here we go. Rail wants to throw over the middle, picked off at the 45-yard line. Brought back down the sideline, and this will be returned for a touchdown for Topeka High. Jalen Smith caught it. That was kind of a shot put throw, and he ran right in front of it.
He did a good job reading that, and he cut off the route. He jumped the route right there. He read that. He read the quarterback's eyes and saw it was a little bit telegraphed. And Roel, he'll get better at that. He hadn't thrown the ball a whole lot. Mostly the JV runs. They'll throw some. He did throw a touchdown pass the other night. Oh.
Penalty on Junction City. The touchdown will stand. 3:14 to go in the fourth quarter. 54-19, and junior varsity offense hadn't done well. Going to set up and try to kick the extra point.
The JV defense was doing a pretty good job until recently, but now that's just something that we'll have to see what
appeared to be some confusion on the part of the offensive unit.
Yeah, I think so, with the play maybe, but
well, Topeka High will try to score their 20th point of tonight's ball game. They're trying to get the snap off. Center forgot the count. Now they get it. Kicks on the way and blocked.
No, it's good.
Nope, it's good. He got it. Thought they blocked it. 54-20. When I say that, you look down at this end of the field, Brian, we got to do a better job of cleaning the frickin' window.
It's getting, well, the windows are getting a little older and starting to get a little cloudy.
I'm bringing stuff to the next game.
Yeah, I think it's just a little cloudy. And
I've had that 3 times tonight, same location.
Yeah, but they're not going to replace the windows because, of course, this is the last year at the stadium. But
these windows actually weren't the ones designed for this press box in mid-1980s.
Oh, they weren't?
Wrong windows were shipped in. They were installed before anybody caught it.
Huh.
That's a fact. They weren't supposed to have this about 1.5 inch or 2 inch line across the bottom where you can't see.
Okay, there you go.
That's why when the windows are closed, you actually can't see a third of the field.
It's tough. When it's cold and we have to have these shut, it's not easy to see sometimes just because of the glare. They've gone to the brighter lights. You know, back when I played, we didn't have these. They had the yellow lights. They weren't as high. Now you've got these LED, these bright halogens or LEDs, depending on what they are. They're up high, and so it just is. You get a lot of glare. In fact, with the artificial turf, you get some glare on the turf, and so it's just a different atmosphere than it was playing on grass and with the yellow incandescent lighting.
We just need to clean the window. There's no other reason.
There you go.
I'll do it next Friday. All right, we're getting set for a kickoff for the Topeka High Trojans. 3:14 to play in the ball game.
You're right about Seaman, though, and that was a good game here, but they are a good football team, and it'd be neat to see them go pretty deep in the 5A playoffs.
They're a good football team. They're one of the best they've had in years. Here's the kick, almost an onside, but the Blue Jays fall on the ball after looking at it. Corey O'Connor got on top of it. 2 Blue Jays stood and kind of looked and didn't either one fall on the football for a few seconds.
I was impressed with their quarterback, too, and Cowan and a bunch of those kids that have been there that play 3 or 4 sports. They play football, basketball, baseball together, and some wrestle together. But they, you're right. It's a tight group. They're very well coached. They always are very disciplined in the way that they play, and so that Seaman team's for real.
1st and 10 Blue Jays. They bring out some new folks. David Rowell at quarterback. Elijah Byers lining up at a receiver on the far side. Rowell looks over at Coach Zimmerman on the sidelines. David sets his unit. 3 receivers wide left, one on the near side. This high was high. Rowell jumped up and caught it and took off running. Across the line of scrimmage, designed plays across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Pretty good run that time with the quarterback, and that's really kind of his forte, I think.
He's a good runner. In fact, he runs the option well. He's a peak. You can run some power stuff with him. He's a big, tall kid with a long stride, and so I love watching David run the football. He's 6'2", 170, but he's got some strong legs. So Dewey, 1:54 to go in the 4th, and Rural has come back to tie Manhattan 24-24.
2nd down 4 for Junction City, 49-yard line of the Topeka Trojans.
Matt shooting us some scores.
Well, that's interesting.
My wife was shooting us some scores earlier, too.
I want to thank your wife here after this play. 2nd down and 4 coming up. Blue Jays at the Trojan 49-yard line. There's the snap. Rowell's going to keep it himself. Runs around the end. He's got a first down. Good run inside the 40, 35.
Great
no confusion there. He's down to the 32. And I want to personally thank Rachel. She came to the game and did the one thing you really needed her to do.
Yeah.
Brought your headphones.
I forgot my headphones.
When you go to a football game and you're going to broadcast it, you probably ought to take your headphones.
Yeah, I took my stuff to work with me today.
She was laughing.
Yeah, I forgot my headphones, and so you know what?
It's a thing. When you go broadcast a game, take the headphones.
But I'm so lucky that
if I can ever teach you anything, Brian, that'd be my one thing.
Aiden and I are incredibly lucky to have Rachel. Believe me,
she's nice to bring. Here's a sweep around the right end. The Blue Jays get it inside the 30 to the 28 on the ball carry. Elijah Byers, his 2nd carry in the game.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. You get to see some of these guys play. But, yeah, it's seeing these young guys get a chance to get out there, and we're seeing some new guys in that have come in on that offensive front again, too.
2nd down, 6 for Junction City after a 4-yard gain by Byers. 28 seconds left in the ball game. Clock running fast. Been a fast second half. Blue Jays snap it. Rowell carrying the football, and they're going to tackle him. Throw him down at the 26-yard line. Still 4 yards shy of a first down. Probably the final play. 13 seconds and the clock ticking down. The Blue Jay lead 54-20. Clock counting down at 7. The crowd wants them to get another play off. I don't know that they will. Rowell looking over at the sideline. The clock ticking. 1 second, and it's going to run out before they can run a play. Blue Jays win tonight at Al Simpler Stadium on homecoming night. 54-20. We'll start the postgame show. The Keating Chiropractic postgame show right after this.
Now that there are new digital ways to pay, what can you do with that old overstuffed wallet?
I could use it as a doorstop, a paperweight, a dumbbell, an umbrella, a small chair.
If you've been walking around with an overstuffed wallet in your pocket or purse, it's Central time. Get Central National Bank's new digital wallet, a wallet in your smartphone, tablet, or smartwatch. A safer, more convenient way to pay.
Central National Bank, money for life.
Member FDIC in your hometown since 1884.
Keating Chiropractic knows that results matter. Doctors Eric and Mitch Keating proudly serve Junction City and the surrounding communities, caring for each patient and athlete individually. They know each patient's condition and health needs are different, and treatments should reflect that. In addition to traditional and sports chiropractic care, Keating Chiropractic proudly offers dry needling and acupuncture, as well as ART, or active release techniques, to treat a variety of sports and athletic injuries. Schedule your consultation today. Keating Chiropractic, committed to your health.
Fans are reminded that mask must be worn.
Welcome back to Simpler Stadium. The Blue Jays win on homecoming night by a score of 54-20. And Brian Field, you've got the player of the game announcement, the Cardinal Insurance player of the game.
Yeah, you had mentioned that we ought to give it to Rachel Dewey, but it's probably not going to work. But
my vote didn't win, but that's who I was pulling for.
No, I think tonight we're going to go with senior wide receiver for the Blue Jays. He's also the holder and did a great job tonight on a couple of snaps that were outside. He does a great job getting them down and grabbing them, catching them, getting them down where they're supposed to be, and he has nice tonight. The one that really stands out is on the far sideline where the ball was thrown outside, and he stretched and caught it and drug his feet to get the first down. Senior wide receiver Trey Goggins is our Cardinal Insurance player of the game tonight.
Good selection tonight. The Blue Jays win it big, and Brian, it was an impressive game.
You feel for Topeka High because like we talked about, not to keep hitting on it because they're a few weeks behind, but they're a team with a new head coach. He's done a nice job with these guys because you can tell that they've played hard. They worked hard the whole game. They lost some key players, and so they've got some young kids coming up, some returning guys that are their leaders. But you take a look at some of these guys on this team that do a nice job. But you've got your quarterback, who he's just a freshman, and he's 6'5", 230, and B.J. Canada, he's a good one. You got Trey Thomas, who's back for his senior year. He's a slot receiver and plays some running back. And Diego Carr is a guy who's a big power back for them. He's a senior. I talked about their center. I was so impressed with their center in this game, Jeff Moore. He did a really nice job blocking in the way that he snaps the ball in the shotgun snaps. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you saw Tylen Lejos. He's also another running back for them. And so he's just a junior. He'll be back. But, there's some good young players, too, on this team that you're going to see back next year. And another one, Isaiah Kincaid. He's a receiver and a corner for them. He's just a freshman. Elijah Williams is a junior, and so you're going to see him back. Elijah Kincaid is a sophomore, and so some young guys on this team. And I'll tell you what, dude, I'd love to see this team next year or the next year after that. Now, maybe only one more year of the Centennial League, and so we'll have to see. But I'd love to see this team in a couple of years because I have a pretty good feeling that Carlos Kelly, just in his first year, he's been their defensive coordinator. He's their first-year head coach, replacing Wald Alexander, who was their longtime, very successful coach. I think Carlos Kelly is going to have this team back next year, and he's got a lot to work with.
Lost quite a bit to graduation, but the Blue Jays do win it tonight, 54-20. Topeka High falls to 1-2, and the Blue Jays go to 5-1. They're ranked number 4 in Class 6A. We'll take a break, and we'll be back on the Keating Chiropractic postgame show right after this.
Keating Chiropractic knows that results matter. Doctors Eric and Mitch Keating proudly serve Junction City